Yeah. Hey, this that special sauce. Spill that drip, I wipe it off. $1,000,000 worth of game. Can't feel that I work too hard. Poetry on these. Okay. Now we back. I don't know what the fuck been going on with Riverside. Having some technical difficulties with my shit. Okay, now we back in full effect. Okay, we got Kick, we got X, yes, we got Rumble, yes, we got Twitch. I think we got everything. Okay, yes indeed. Welcome to all my stoners, hippies, hip hop enthusiasts. Once again, this is the Doja Room. I had to add X into here. It's only right. I can't stream without my people on X to come show love as well. Okay, so it's just imperative to make sure that all of us are out here. But yeah, we've been shaking up the timeline a bit. I just wanted to clear the desk with this stream. There's a few minor topics going on, things like that that I'd like to just throw the 2 cents in. We haven't talked any geek culture in a while. So many movies and things like that coming out. I mean, sheesh. And I think the page plot twist is constantly still dropping music. But we're on YouTube, and I'm not playing any games with the YouTube gangsters. So when we're not on YouTube, we'll review some more music. But I'm trying to get things really set up here in the Doja Room. We are back in NYC, so I'm trying to get things set up to where I can have some of the guys just come in. We review these albums. Starts having some of my good friends, some of these owls that you're seeing. So shout out to all my owls in NYC. Tap in with your boy, okay? We can make some magic, pause. But I think we can make some great things, some great content, and that's what I'm here to do. So we're gonna cut into some of these topics. We're gonna cut into some of this geek culture stuff going on. And as I said, now we usually don't review death battles here on the channel, but bruh, they dropped that Century versus Superman. Should we get into that first? I think we should get into that first. I'm sorry if you guys came here for hip hop to start. But we'll get into hip hop a little bit, we'll get into the hip hop shit, okay? We'll get there. But I'm a avid Death Battle fan. I'm a avid Marvel, DC comic book reader, or at least I used to be at a certain point. So I have these comics, these stories, things like that. They are near and dear to my heart. But Century, they didn't just put Superman. They put Superman Prime. So these niggas is trying to, they didn't just put Century. They put Century versus Superman Prime, which is crazy to me. Crazy. I want to get into that first. Okay. I want to talk some geek shit first. So we can talk the rest of the shit. We can spin on these niggas after, but I got to. Are my geeks in the channel? Are my geeks in the chat? Like what? What are we talking about? Come on, man. This is crazy. I know y'all see the title. But yeah. We got to get into it. I'm sorry. We got to get into it. Because this ain't no regular death battle, right? Who y'all fuck with death battles? Yeah, do we got anybody that fuck with death battles in here? Come on. I know we do.
Century versus Superboy Prime.
These two dark Supermen
Superboy
prove that
Prime.
Sometimes absolute power corrupts absolutely.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Yeah, I know this is mad random, but I have to see this. Like, I just have to see this. It's random as shit. But it's Superman versus Century. I mean, if you guys are comic book fans, and again, we talk everything here in the Doja Room, okay? We talk everything here in the Doja Room. Let me just make that clear in case you guys are a little bit taken aback or thrown off. Nigga, Century versus Superman, Superboy, however you want to flip it. I think Century's whooping that ass, guys. Okay? We talk about the nigga is mind controlling niggas doing all. I mean, he basically can do everything Superman can do plus some. Okay, he's about to mollywop this nigga.
One superhero stands alone at the peak of Marvel Comics. He's a brilliant scientist and friend to all, the Golden Guardian of Good, the Sentry.
Which makes it all the more mysterious when all of humanity forgot about him, as though he never existed in the first place.
What if the reason we
Do we got the comic book readers in the chat? I see some of y'all.
forgot Sentry?
Yeah, put your bets in right now. It's Superman versus Sentry, man. Only real ones is gonna get this. Okay? If you was there, World War Hulk, come on, guys. Come on, nigga. He put belt to ass. You feel me? We talking classics. If you grew up reading comic books, come on.
Is that he wanted to be forgotten.
To save us from himself.
As the story goes, Robbie Reynolds was just your average, ordinary.
We gonna get to if you're just getting in here, we'll get to the hip hop. We'll get to the hip hop. Give me a minute. We gonna geek out for a little bit, okay? We gonna talk about some of these movies dropping. We gonna talk a little bit about Supergirl and how that was a flop. We're gonna talk about how DC EU is a disaster ever since the beginning of time, okay? We're gonna talk a little bit of geek culture. Then we're gonna get into the hip hop, okay? Stick with me.
High school teen until the day he accidentally drank this super soldier serum.
At that moment, Robbie was imbued with the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, becoming one of the strongest superheroes in existence.
That's gotta be one hell of a bowel movement. And what better way to use his new powers than to become a sentry to all mankind?
In a never-ending crusade against his devious arch-nemesis, the Void.
He's got all your classic, I can't believe he's not Kryptonian superpowers, like super strength, speed, durability, and flight.
He can spot you from miles away, or even hear a butterfly sneeze from across the planet.
Yeah, come on, bro. Come on. I mean, I know Superman doing the same thing, but come on, bro.
Butterfly sneeze?
Sentry's putting belt to ass. Okay? He's putting belt to ass. That's just my opinion. We're gonna see how this shit falls. We're gonna see how the cookie crumbles, but Sentry putting belt to ass.
No!
Well, Sentry's cells absorb and process the sun's rays, and if he wants to, he can fire that solar energy right back at you in a powerful laser, or bend light away to turn invisible, or use it to make force fields.
Really, the Sentry can draw power from anywhere and everywhere. When he was forcibly shrunk down to subatomic size, he started pulling energy from the microverse instead. And despite being microscopic, his punches were strong enough to destroy planets, even while holding back.
Sentry can teleport, communicate pathically, and even read and mess with minds.
Yo, come on, son. Come on, son. Who got their money on Superman? You're bugging. Superboy. Whoever. You're bugging, nigga. This nigga's stacked. I know it's Superboy Prime, though, but still. Come on. This nigga's stacked.
He's also a genius with a super brain comparable to Tony Stark and Reed Richards. He's even built his own watch
I didn't even know that.
tower with an advanced AI that is constantly monitoring the planet for threats.
Jesus Christ!
I didn't even know that either.
He's like the Avengers all in one. Why do there even need to be any other superheroes?
Indeed, the Sentry is more than strong enough to take on Marvel's heaviest hitters, like his famous battle with the Green Scar Hulk, where
Come on. That nigga World War Hulk, he was fucking everything up. World War Hulk was putting belt to ass, but he just couldn't do it to Sentry. That's all I'm saying. I don't see how Superboy is stacking up to my
Black Bolt, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange failed, the Sentry was the only who stood against the Hulk's full power.
He's also battled Thor, who collapsed an infinite number of timelines into one by clashing with another Thor.
The Sentry is incredibly fast, too. He can bend space and speed blitz Ares, who can move within Planck time, the smallest unit of time possible in our universe.
He's stated to be as fast as the Heralds of Galactus, like the Silver Surfer, who once outraced the multi-
Did y'all see Thunderbolts? I think that's some slept on shit. The Thunderbolts was pretty good, where they introduced the actual Sentry to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So now we got Sentry on the big screen. I'm excited to see it. I'm definitely excited to see it. But they gotta do him, as you can see, they gotta do him justice. If we gonna bring Sentry to the big screen, you gotta do him justice. We're talking about Marvel's Superman. Okay? This nigga, bro, y'all, come on, y'all hearing it. Y'all hear this shit. Come on. The nigga's stacked.
Multiverse blowing up. This Surfer Flu says he went back in time, so you'd think Sentry would be able to handle some punk in a trench coat.
But it wasn't so simple. The Void was everywhere that the Sentry wasn't.
If Sentry saved people from a burning building, Void would crash an airplane. If Sentry healed a person's broken back, Void would give someone else cancer. What an asshole!
For every good act the Sentry performs, the Void commits an evil one. Because the truth was, the Sentry and the Void were one and the same.
Bum, bum, plot twist. Turns out Sentry's whole origin story was a lie. Robbie Reynolds wasn't a 60s high schooler beating up bullies like some Jack Kirby comic.
In reality, Bob Reynolds was a schizophrenic meth addict who drank the Sentry serum just to get high. And the Void was, in reality, a malevolent godlike entity bonded to Bob that was the literal angel of death.
Yes, from the Bible.
What the fuck? Shit was going on with this nigga. This is crazy. This is why I fuck with the death battles, because I be a little bit out of touch. It's been a while since I picked up a comic book, okay? But I love to see it though.
And the Pharaoh and the dead firstborns. That's him, apparently.
And this being manifests as the dark side of Bob's shattered psyche, a villainous alter ego with all of his power. Too much power for any one man to handle. The only way to destroy the Void was to also destroy the Sentry.
So Bob did something crazy. With help from Reed's tech, he used his own psychic powers to erase himself from everyone's past, present, and future, including his own.
Warping the perception of reality of every single person on the planet. They would no longer remember him or even recognize anything remotely related to him. A picture of the Sentry would still technically exist, but in your mind's eye, including Bob's, it is there.
Everyone knows repressing your problems always makes them better.
But Bob's memories eventually clawed their way back, in part thanks to Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and his desire to somehow control the Void. So Norman had the Thunderbolts murder Bob's wife Lindy in order to release, the Angel of Death.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember reading these comics in specific too, and this is when the Void was on some shit. Okay, my boy was on some shit. That nigga was on some other shit. Tearing niggas in half, all type of bull. Yeah, he was on some bullshit.
And a guy who can throw hands with Molecule Man, who somehow is one of the strongest beings in all of Marvel. At his peak, he's got almost complete control over the multiverse. So yeah, good luck with that one, Norm.
Molecule Man was another mentally unstable god whose power fluctuates based on their comments to Bob.
It was then that Bob discovered the true source of his own powers, his own control over molecules. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, fuck out of here. This is why they picked Superman Prime. This nigga's about to put fucking Superman in the dirt, nigga. They had to go Superman Prime on that ass.
The Sentry can create and destroy matter on a whim, able to rip you apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand, like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also regenerate his body from any kind of damage, like being burnt to a skeleton or getting Dr. Manhattan himself.
As long as one single solitary atom remains, the Sentry is unkillable.
And Void's got all of this and more, except he doesn't hold back. He can shapeshift, create hurricanes, trap you in darkness, possess your body, and devour your soul.
With his infinitendrils, the Void takes control of a victim's mind and tortures them with the memories of past traumas and nightmares.
He killed Loki. He wrecked Asgard. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans, and the X-Men teaming up all at once could barely handle him. Void is one of the biggest bads in Marvel. Great fucking job, Norm. I'm something of a moron myself.
The only way forward, the only way for Bob to save everyone, including himself, was to do something he never imagined. let the void in.
By refusing to repress his darker half anymore, Sentry and Void merged and became stronger than the sum of their parts.
One being now free to finally live his life without the crushing weight of self-hatred and fear.
Maybe, but this is the Void we're talking about. What if Bob just has a new puppet master who's only letting him think he's in control?
As long as the void exists, it's just another revolution in that same endless cycle. It remains to be seen whether even death itself can break that wheel.
He'll be back. Sentry is gone, but not forgotten. He'll never be forgotten again.
How the fuck do you beat that? Let's just pause right there. How the fuck do you beat that? They gotta come with some shit. Superman gotta come with some shit. I mean, we know Superman's powers, though. This is what I'm thinking. We know Superman's powers. I'm not about to watch all the Superboy shit, but come on. He got to come with some shit.
In DC's new, rebooted, post-crisis continuity, Clark was forced to watch as the comics landscape changed before his eyes. As stories became darker and morally complex, as heroes failed to be the paragons of good he saw them as in his childhood.
As someone else got to be Superboy.
Some people can't stand change, can't stand to see a world that doesn't look the way it did when they were a child. The day needed to be saved by Superboy, the real Superboy, Superboy Prime.
So he did what any Superboy would do, punch really hard. He punched his way out of the dimension so hard, the shockwaves rippled through the universe and retconned DC Comics. Superboy was back, and he was gonna fix...
See, this is the thing I don't like about DC Comics, because whenever there's somebody who can whoop Superman's ass, they just give this nigga a new power. They just give this nigga a new power, created just some broken version of this nigga, do some weird shit. You know what I'm saying?
Comic book
I don't even know why Sentry is versus Superman Prime. Just let him whoop on Superman's ass.
forever. Hell yeah!
No matter how many fake heroes got in his way.
Oh shit! Super Chud Prime isn't just your ordinary Kryptonian. Oh no, he's pre-crisis.
As in, from before the Crisis on Infinite Earths, a time when comics were a bit more comical.
When Superman could sneeze solar systems apart or tow a galaxy of planets behind him like it was nothing.
Or clash with another Kryptonian so hard, they generated enough power to restore an infinite number of timelines.
Get ready to hear that word a lot. My favorite is the time Superman flew so fast he broke the light barrier.
All right. I don't know if Century might win this shit. This shit is getting a little bananas, but let's just get to the fight. I just want to, you know what I mean? Let's get to them throwing these hands. That's what I need to see, okay?
Data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
This city won't last much longer. Quit while you're behind, kid.
Mess up a superhero crossover? No way, dork. Onomatopoeia coming right up!
You're dealing with someone who has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns!
Big mistake, dipwad. It's prime time.
It's what?
Are you kidding me? Another dark Superman fraud? Boring! It's cool when I do it.
Please, stop hitting me.
These niggas should shake him.
He'll kill you. I'll kill you. To death.
Damn, death battle? Damn, death battle? These niggas is not playing.
Bye-bye, Bob. It's time to play God.
Okay, you weren't joking. Definitely a crisis-level threat. Luckily, so am I.
Run all you want! If Bob couldn't escape me,
What hope do you have, boy? Afraid of the Dark Clerk? What kind of a hero are you? Remind me again,
Crazy.
whatever happened to Lori? It's over, Clark. There is no happy ending. Not for you. Not for me. Not for anyone else. In the void.
Haven't you ever read a comic book, you big freaking nerd? There's always a happy ending.
Bob? You kept talking about the Sentry. Bad dream?
No idea, Lindy. Best sleep I've had in years.
Crisis averted.
Goddamn. Well, there we have it, boys. Of course, they gave it to Superman Prime. I just had to. So I had to watch that. I'm sorry. Even though I think that's some bullshit. Why the fuck would you make the Sentry just randomly go against the main draw of Death Battle all this time has been Superman whooping everybody's ass. But hey, okay, let's just randomly throw in Superman Prime this time. Okay, all right. I'm gonna take my L. I'm gonna take my L. We're gonna move on to our regular scheduled program. But I'm just saying, this shit, I don't know if that was fair. Okay, I don't even know why we had to go all the way Superman Prime. But apparently, that's probably the only person that could fuck with Void. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's get into what you guys really came in here for. Of course, we're talking a little bit of geek stuff. I usually save that for the end of the stream and or a separate stream, but why the fuck not? Okay. It's Sunday. We're just here to vibe. We're just here to talk. And as far as my people on X go, I don't know what the actual title of the stream is. So you just pulled up for whatever the fuck ever. So I appreciate you guys anyway, okay? I had to add X to the stream, but apparently I forgot to throw a title on there for you guys. So you guys just came in here because you fuck with me. And for that, I appreciate you guys tremendously. Okay, so for the last couple of days, I had a couple of viral tweets going about starting some conversations. I want to get into this first one, which is talking about Glorilla versus Dochi. Okay, so someone posed the question, Glorilla versus Dochi, who had the better run so far? I gave my take, and it sparked a bit of a fire, sparked a bit of an outrage. Let's get into that.
See, I get a lot of hate for my takes when it comes to Dochi, and this is the reason why. This woman right here has been dominating the female game for the last 2 to 3 years. And the fact that we're giving bitches like this a Grammy when this person deserves all the acknowledgement, all the awards. Only one person impacted the culture. Only one person had every female saying it. I'm FREE, fuck nigga free. Like, stop it.
And not only that, but it's 7 p.m. Friday. It's 95 degrees. I ain't got no nigga, but in my case, I ain't got no bitch, and no bitch ain't got me. Come on. What are we talking about? Did we forget what was going on for the last 2-3 years? Did we forget? Glow had her little one with Fabio where we thought that cha-cha slide shit, we thought she was It was like, oh, okay, all right. We don't know where this is going, but she came back. She came back. It's 7 p.m. Friday, 95 degrees. Come on, son. She got bangers.
Nobody was on that. Y'all had to force the Doechii shit. Niggas didn't have to force Glorilla. We like her. We love her personality. She's, down to earth for the most part. She's a good time. And she represents a lot of women in the culture. Yet, they only want to present this to the culture. They only want to present this as the culture. And not to say that there's anything bad, because I don't want to be hypocritical. A lot of the time we push the message that Glorilla pushes, and not the message that Doechii pushes. And I think that's important to acknowledge as well, that sometimes, there's a time and a place for certain things. I don't think Glorilla should be at a Kamala Harris event or anything like that. But, I think what she does, in terms of, if we're just talking about the scope of the culture, Glorilla has done way more for the culture, has been way more impactful to the culture, and people just do not give her flowers. She does not get the acknowledgement that she deserves. Better than Megan Thee Stallion, had her foot on Megan Thee Stallion's neck, better than Doechii. I mean, name a female artist other than Nicki Minaj that's really been fucking with Glow. I can't find one. So I know that, she wasn't eligible for Grammy talks, but this woman shouldn't even be in Grammy talks. This woman right here has been running the game for the last 2 to 3 years.
Okay, so that's the take that has my side of the internet at least on fire, and me getting nonstop notifications for the last 2 to 3 days. But I stand by what I said, and I want to elaborate a little bit more on the topic, just because I think I sat back. I took yesterday to listen back to Doechii's album in its entirety, start to finish. And then I went back and listened to Glorilla's album again. And Glorilla actually put out 2 projects in 2024, I believe. So I actually went and listened to both of those, because I believe Glow actually put out like a mixtape. That might have been a mixtape that I was listening to, and it had some of the bangers that I was, of course, hearing on there as well. So besides her, let's just say this, get this out of the way. Glorilla is incredibly hardworking. Glorilla stays in the studio, and to my owls who's watching, we respect that tremendously. I respect someone who's constantly feeding the streets. You can't just sit here and push somebody and flood or quote unquote force somebody if they aren't putting out the music, if they aren't making good music. So I want to put this into the argument or into the air, because someone raised a very good question.
See, I get a lot of hate for.
Someone raised a really good question, and it was basically saying that they wanted to. Maybe I can find. Let me see if I can find it, because I actually made a video response to that question in particular, and I think it should be acknowledged. So let's go to that real quick, if I can. It's been a lot going on my page the last couple of days. Oh yeah, it's and it's a lot to get into. It's a lot. Damn, I thought I posted. Where the fuck is it? Okay, well, while I cannot find my response to that, hold on, maybe I could find the actual comment. And I'm going to get into some of the comments, actually. So, since I can't find, I don't know why it's not on my page. It's weird. But Twitter X be doing that shit sometimes. But I digress. So there was one question going into the pushed / forced narrative, and perhaps I can find that comment somewhere in here, because like I said, oh, homie right here, he's the one who posed the question, and I like I said, I think it was a pretty solid solid answer or a question to be posed. At least I think so. But he basically, I don't know where to comment. I'm not gonna. But he basically asked, you know, what. He basically asked what's the difference between forced and someone being pushed, someone being pushed heavily, I guess you can say, whether in the algorithm, in the radio waves, things like that. He seems to think there's a distinct difference between being pushed and being forced. And again, the conversation, the comment might just be lost, and there's a lot of comments in here. I'm not gonna lie. It sparked a pretty big debate. There's a lot of people coming in, crashing out for Doechii, which is it's to be expected at this point. It's plenty of people coming in crashing out for her, but I just think that it's a little bit it's a little bit of a nuanced conversation. Now, first, a lot of people came in crashing out because, you know, they figured the conversation was about who's the better rapper, and that's just not what a lot of people came in and just completely ignored the question being posed by the sound mind, who asked who had the better run, which is the what I was responding to. And when someone came in and asked, basically being pushed versus things being forced, things being pushed versus things being forced. And when it comes down to Glow, I don't, like I said, I don't know why I can't find the video. I made a whole response to it, but the difference between a person like Glow being pushed versus a person like Doechii who is being forced, in my opinion, it's two completely, like, it's a night and day conversation. And maybe I can get to it in these replies, because maybe it's classified as a reply at this point. But I want to at least get to what he was saying. But there's a difference, at least I think so. There's a big difference in being pushed and being forced. The way Glorilla came in, it was very much so, if you ask me, it was very organic. We came in, we said, who the hell is this girl? She's shaking shit up. Dropped this ratchet ass video. It was funny. It was, I guess, in the time of that Sexy Red. I think we had just got Sexy Red. Sexy Red was going viral. Of course, we already had the City Girls and Cardi B and people like that, but we had people like Sexy Red stepping it up, going a bit further, and Glow. And she put up the video, her debut video. It was legendary. It seemed like, you know, niggas shot it on their iPhone. I mean, just look at the FNF video. It looks like niggas shot it on their iPhone. They twerking at the red lights, twerking on the headlights at the red lights. Like, come on. It just screamed authentic. It screamed the you know, true to the culture. And of course, we all loved the song. We liked the song when it came out. She was doing her thing. She's obviously came a long way since then. But I think it's a difference between you saying her being forced. Uh, Glorilla puts out very good music, and it's easy to sell her music. So I don't think you would necessarily call that her being forced on us. When the music is good, when the music slaps, we know it slaps, and she's hitting this pocket, she's hitting this formula where she's obviously found her bag, she's found her formula, and she's hitting that pocket a couple of times. I'm not mad at it. She's remixing some of our favorite joints, and she's not just remixing these joints in bad taste. She's bodying these shits. The Keisha Cole joints, the Boozy joint, Wipe Me Down. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's bodying these shits. So knowing that these songs are gonna go and you pushing that shit and people eating it up, that's not it being forced. Call it fast food music if you will, because that may be more. I see a lot of people like to call what Drake does fast food music, but Glorilla is literally fast food music. It's very good fast food music. I think it will stand the test of time, a lot of it, because it just bumps, it just slaps, and she talks that shit. And as a man, as a male of the male gender, we can sing along to Glow effortlessly, and we don't have to really change
It's a
too many
good time.
words. We don't have to really change too many words. We don't have to really change anything up. We can vibe to her music. We don't got to worry about sounding gay, and and yeah, we could just vibe out. Like, we don't have to really worry about, I don't know, it's like it being like a girl singing this song and doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a song all of us can vibe to. So let's get into some of these comments. Obviously, they spark some larger conversations. But again, if you guys got some opinions on the Glorilla versus Doechii debate and who had a better run and who's putting on for the culture more, please get involved. Hop in and involve yourself into the conversation. But this one person, which I thought this was a pretty decent comment to respond to, it said, it's more than just putting out a good song. Rap is also about lyrical content, storytelling, symbolism, imagery, wordplay, and artistic vision. Whether someone likes Doechii or not, she clearly excels in all of those areas, which is exactly why she's being recognized. And that's cool. That can very, very much be the reason why people gravitate towards her. But these reasons that you listed are no longer the main selling points to an artist. You being good at storytelling, symbolism, imagery, wordplay, artistic vision, you being good at all of those things, that's not going to help you sell. You being a good lyricist, a dope storyteller is not going to always push the needle, especially nowadays where people like a Playboy Cardi exist, people like a Yeet exist. You know what I'm saying? People like a Bass God. You know what I'm saying? People that started the certain movements and pioneered certain sounds and subgenres of hip hop, where these things that you listed don't matter. I can tell you the biggest Glorilla fan, I can already tell you without interviewing, asking any questions. I can tell you right now the biggest Glorilla fan can give a damn about storytelling, wordplay, lyricism. They don't give a fuck about all of that shit. And what a lot of you guys are going to have to realize and be comfortable with is that hip hop has grown so big that the values that you hold in an artist are not going to be necessarily the barrier to entry going forward in the future. They're just not. Your storytelling and lyrical content is no longer the barrier of entry. That's no longer going to stop you from getting into the door and being one of the biggest artists in hip hop. And that's also not what this conversation was about. But I got so many comments like this ready to crash out about how much better Doechii is as an artist and lyricist. And hey, like I said, I went back and listened to the album. I went back and I played the Alligator Bites, whatever it's called. I listened to it start to finish. It's a great album. It is a great album. No, does it deserve a Grammy? No. Nah. Not at all. I'm sorry. Nah. I can pull 5 joints from outside of my hometown right here in New York. I can pull 5 joints out here right now who can rap better than a Doechii or just as good and create the same album. Sorry. I think if you ask me, what's harder to do nowadays is what Doechii is doing. I mean, what Glorilla is doing. What's harder to do nowadays is what Glorilla is doing. And that is making a hit consistently. Yes. That's harder to do than writing a song that's lyrical and this, that, the third. Because again, it's not like she made these songs and these super lyrical songs and we discovered her organically like we did Glorilla. We didn't find her and said, oh, wow, yo, her bars are so earth shattering. Oh, Doechii is her lyrical ability is so unique. The things, her voice, all of these things, nothing I heard from her album isn't anything I haven't heard before. I heard a little bit of Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill. I heard the influences. I heard it, but it's not anything I've never heard before. And it's so funny because these hip hop purists who are so hard to please when it comes down to good music and their barrier of entry is so high, they accept just about anything. And that's not to, again, take away from what Doechii did in her album. That's not to take away from that. But it's not so unique that had we not slapped the TDE stamp of approval on it, that it would be Grammy worthy. Let's just be real. If Doechii didn't have the TDE stamp of approval, we wouldn't be number one talking about Doechii or number one talking about her with a Grammy. Let's just be real. Even if Glorilla doesn't win the categories that she's nominated in, it makes more sense for her to at least even be in these talks. For me, it doesn't even make sense for Doechii to be in these talks, and a lot of these guys hate when I say that. They don't like when I say that, but it is what it is. It is what it is. It's way easier to find a Doechii. It's way harder to make someone like her pop. It's much harder to make someone like her pop because everybody doesn't always just gravitate towards that kind of music. Everybody doesn't always want to hear that. I'm saying they don't. And I would imagine why she has the extra boost in monthly listeners is because she can better capture a white audience. Let's just be honest about it. Y'all, and I said, it's funny, the go-to argument in the comments is about numbers. But let's contextualize this. A Doechii is way easier to sell to the white folks. A Doechii is way more probable when that stadium show pop out, or when she pop out for that show, whatever she do, it's most likely going to be a lot of white women. Come on. It's going to be a lot of white women. If Glorilla throws a show right now, the hood, the culture is coming out. That's what y'all niggas is not realizing. That's what we not talking about. If Glorilla does a show right now, the culture is coming out. If Dochi does a show right now, yeah, some of the culture might come out, but it's going to be a lot of white bitches too. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. Half of those tickets sold is going to be white niggas. It's going to be white bitches. So let's be, when we talk numbers and we contextualize the argument, and I'm saying that Glorilla is more impactful to the culture, she's bigger to the culture. It's because when you contextualize the numbers difference, which somebody tried to come in here and say, if I can find it, someone did try to come and make that an argument. Let's see if we can find it. Again, we got a lot of comments. They've been going off. Holy shit. Buddy right here said, bro, just yapping. They're about to claim bots when Spider-Bot removes them every month since the last year. And he points to Dochi having a 26.5 million monthly listeners versus Glorilla's 16.4. But I guarantee you, all of Glorilla's listeners are of the culture. I guarantee you that extra 10 million, or not even extra 10, or the extra 8 million listening to Dochi are white bitches. Because she's easier to sell to white people. I'm having a conversation about the culture. I'm having a conversation about who's more organic to the culture, who the culture chose, and why we are calling the other one an industry plant. See, they like to play these games with the numbers and try to confuse y'all with the numbers, but I'm smarter than that. I'm not dumb. I know that if Dochi throws a show right now, that a majority of those seats are going to be white people. If Glorilla throws a show, if she has a show, it's going to be the niggas. It's going to be the niggas. The same people you see popping out for a YB, and when you see YB do the tour that he did last year and the culture was there.
I'm FREE, fuck nigga free.
Hold on. It should just play. You just got shit playing. Hold on. But when we look at YB's tour and we see the culture pop out, we don't see a whole bunch of a sea of white kids. We see the culture there. There's a difference in the conversations that we should be having. There's a difference in because a lot of you niggas, it's cool that white people also indulge in the art form, in the culture. That's cool. We want that. But when we talk about who is running the culture, the people who are running the culture, the numbers game gets a little bit different. The numbers games gets a little bit different. And we're going to exclude Drake from this because Drake is an anomaly. Drake has the culture and the numbers. Everywhere you go, they're going to be playing Drake. Any setting you go, they're going to be playing Drake. And he has the numbers to back that up. The white people are listening. The black people are listening. The Hispanic bitches is listening. The Polish bitches, everybody's listening. But in terms of on a smaller scale, when we talk about Dochi versus Glorilla, we got to be real and understand that that extra bump, that extra 8 million listeners are white people. They're white people, plain and simple. They're not the culture. They're not people of the culture. So when we have this conversation, we got to contextualize the things that you guys are saying because it's deeper than rap. Let's keep on going. Someone else said, this is Shadow Temperance. She's been putting belt to ass, okay? A owl in the cut. She obviously don't be on X habitually like the rest of us, but she says, thank you for making this video. A lot of people feel the same way, that Dochi bitch is weird as fuck. Nobody likes her. Glow real, and she's genuine. They definitely trying to force that fake woke bitch on us. Anything linked to Kendrick Lamar, fuck them. It's big owls around this motherfucker. Okay, all right, I feel that. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't take away anything from Dochi though. She's a tremendous artist. She's a tremendous rapper, but she is an industry plant. Yeah, she's a plant. Yeah, that's just how I see it. That's some random comment. Let's get to a good one. This one said, and that's why rap is so ass. Now these girls have one catchy song, and y'all put that above actual talent. We have plenty of Ice Spices, Lottos, Glorillas, and Megans pushed on us daily, but when we get someone creative and original with talent, y'all want trash. And this is a valid take. This is an okay point, because but even though it's disingenuous, Glorilla has way more than just one catchy song. Let's just knock that off. Yeah, Glow. TGIF. FNF. I mean, we can go the joint with Keisha Cole. What you know about me? Like, she got more than one catchy song, and it's the reason why I'm talking the way I'm talking right now. But I don't think when somebody like a Missy Elliott can come in and just make these hits, and we're not necessarily thinking about as kids, because let's be clear, a lot of us were growing up as kids watching people like Missy Elliott, Ludacris, people with these absurd visuals, absurd lyrics, and those things took more attention than the actual lyrics that they were saying, than the actual bars, quote unquote, in the music. At least for me, as a kid growing up, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and I'm watching Missy Elliott, I'm not over here thinking about the bars, and I'm thinking about how fun the video is, how absurd and how whimsical and how, just catchy it is. People forget that hip hop has stages for us, even in our lives. We go, and now if you are one of those people who've been just one of those rappity rap, boom bap, hip hop has to be a pure. I used to be one of those too. I got over it. I phased out of it. I got older. I had to realize that if these kids are listening to an artist and he can garner an audience of these young people, and they feel like this is art, they feel like this is unique, they understand it on a deeper level than I can or you can, then who are we to tell them that this isn't art? So the same applies to people like a Glorilla, people like a Yeet, people like a Playboy Cardi, a Uzi. Who are we to tell these kids that this isn't art, this isn't real music, this isn't real hip hop, when they are the people who are going to carry this shit on? Yes, it's important for us to keep certain values, but again, hip hop has grown to such a place that it's big enough for all of us. It's big enough for all of these subgenres to exist. Now, are these subgenres going to always be as big as the next? Is boom bap going to be as big as contemporary, just trap rap, or it's that southern rap? No, it's not gonna. It's not, and it may never be that big again. But hip hop goes through its ebbs and flows, and the music industry as a whole, is a very fast moving thing by nature. Trends move fast by nature. So for us to expect hip hop and music to be this stagnant thing, it's foolish. It's foolish. We've had our stamp in time, and our favorite artists stamp certain moments in time for us, but it's not for us to just take and try to dictate where the future goes. I mean, if you're a boom bap artist and where you want to dictate where that subgenre goes, and you want to, be hard on the people who come into specifically boom bap type of rap and the rules and regulations that come in with that type of rap, then, that's your prerogative. But to take the rules of a conscious rapper and conscious rap and apply that to all of hip hop and all of its subgenres is just stupid. We can't do that. It just doesn't make any sense. So I want a lot of people who try to, kind of push those talking points to realize that, dude, it doesn't really serve us to try to push the conscious rules and regulations onto everybody else when they don't care about the storytelling. There's a certain genre of hip hop who don't care about the storytelling. They don't care about the lyrics. They only care about Playboi Carti moaning in the background of his lyrics and having a spasm, effectively. That's just what some people care about. I don't really like Playboi Carti. I don't really like his sound and his music, but I like Skywater. Skywater is very similar to Playboi Carti, just probably a little shades, a few notches in the middle, and it's more digestible. It's more listenable. So people have to back off and give the respect. The question was about who had the better run so far, and if you ask me, it's Glow. It's not even a question. It's not even close. It's not even close. We can't sit here and talk about how Doechii is the better rapper and things like that if she's not pushing the culture, or she's not even touching the culture in the. I mean, Glow is with everybody. Meg, Moneybag, been around everybody. You know what I'm saying? Now, Doechii might just be just now getting her feet wet, but even still, we see Doechii. I mean, we see Glorilla very approachable, very much in the midst of what's going on in the culture, in the spaces, and the people who are popular in it. So I think she has her ears to the streets. Okay, but that is one tweet in particular. You guys gotta forgive me. I'm a little bit under the weather. That's why I haven't been on every day. But yeah, we trying to keep it up here. We trying to keep it up. But yeah, that's just one of the things that's been apparently eating at people. And I wanna bring this one. This was a very good one too. She said, I found out about Doechii through her Isaiah Rashad feature. I was excited to watch her grow, and the exact opposite happened. She was forced upon the general public. She has a few singles that were pretty good, but it was obvious she needed a true marketing plan, and because the audience was there. But they were ultimately went the forced route, something I realized that that label has always done. Then the singles they chose weren't even the style I found her in. Very important to the conversation and to contextualize the conversation. So hands down, Glow had the better run because we watched her struggle a bit, take the criticism, and ultimately find her way after her viral moment. I hope Doechii can get from under that label and get back to who she was prior to meeting them people, which is, yeah, it's probably way more commercialized for her. It's probably a way more, it's probably a whole different conversation and different style of music that she has to push right now, because she's trying to break into the industry and effectively establish herself. So there might be time for that. There might be some time for it. So let's get into some other topics here, because we're an hour in, and yeah, we still got a lot more to talk about. Okay, a lot has been going on. Let's see here. Okay. So, Charlemagne and academics still going at it in the media. Okay, I got some clips here for you guys.
Cause want to see any.
First, let's talk about what Ak said and what's going on with Rock Nation, Charlemagne, and Academics TV and our Grand Wizard. Okay, so Ak said, "It hurt my heart watching my hip hop media idol Charlemagne spit Rock Nation talking points. I'm speechless. I was proud of Joe Budden, though. At least he not on the script, even though he def love him some Hove. The rest of y'all shills, I don't care. Y'all voices ain't loud enough." So Charlemagne apparently had a response to this, and I think they're closer and closer to going to war and going at each other directly. Now, to all my stoners, my hippies, my hip-hop enthusiasts, if you guys have been here in the Doja Room, I have been calling for these niggas' heads for the past year and a half. You can go to countless streams that we've had so far where I've told you guys over and over, time and time again, it's time we get people like Charlemagne, The Breakfast Club, at least out of these hip-hop talks. At least out of the talks that matter to us, because they are no longer in touch with the culture and a lot of reality and the facts of what's going on here in hip hop. So Charlemagne had a response to that because, of course, he has been spitting those Rock Nation talking points. He has been a #1 Jay-Z defender, deflector, and all of the above. And he's shameless about it. One of the most shameless, if you ask me. He doesn't give a fuck what you niggas think about how he's looking right now. He's going to continue to shill for Jay, and he's going to do it well. Okay, let's get into it.
Because I don't want to see any of y'all talking about, people are getting paid to support and defend folks. Because the reality is, you have an OVO chain. So you're supporting and defending Drake.
Nah, we can't do that. Nigga, Ak got that chain like last month, 2 months ago, nigga. Ak has been keeping the same energy, talking this shit all the way up to 2026 to when he got that. He hasn't changed his tune. So, he didn't just switch things around when he got his OVO chain. That's #1. #2, Ak has criticized Drake and the things Drake does multiple times. We don't act like Drake is beyond criticism. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Let me just make this perfectly clear to any K-Thoughts, to any media personalities who think that we are above or are incapable of criticizing Drake and putting him in his fucking place. He's still a light-skinned nigga at the end of the day, and I'm still a dark-skinned nigga. And I'm still gonna get on these light-skinned niggas' ass, because y'all niggas are soft. It's in y'all nature. So y'all do soft shit. I just excuse it because y'all are light-skinned niggas. But let me just say here, first and foremost, Drake, king of the light skins, he is not above criticism. The thing that you niggas like to do with Jay-Z and Kendrick Lamar and everybody who you guys try to push is you guys try to act like they're above criticism. They're beyond criticism. They're beyond critique. Anything that they do wrong or questionable, you guys have an explanation for it. Come on. This shit is sad. It's sad. So don't get it twisted. We've been calling you niggas out. There's a difference in how you guys have been talking over the years. We're not gonna say, oh well, academics, you got an OVO chain, nigga. Act been talking like this, nigga, before the OVO chain. That happened 2 months ago. Act been talking like this, been keeping the same energy, and when the time came to criticize Drake, he criticized Drake. He called him out. I have never seen half of you niggas, any of you niggas, criticize Jay-Z. I don't even see you niggas talking about the MAGA video. I don't even see you niggas talking about Jay-Z sitting down with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner. What are we doing? So you can sit here and be like, oh, you got an OVO chain, so you can't. With the whataboutisms. The whataboutisms. We can never address the topic at hand because it's always what about this and what about that. And the whataboutisms have become so brain dead, so disingenuous in arguments that the whataboutisms are not even what about real shit, real facts. We not talking facts.
Drake, because you feel like Drake should be higher on this Billboard top 50 songs thing. And by the way, I Mike can agree with that. Like I don't think Jay-Z's Root Picnic.
I was about to say, you defeating your own point here. If you agree with that, then that's an objective point by Ack. That's an objective point. Drake effectively, and we know this to be a fact, he effectively put out the album of the year. Without question. There's no debate. Without question, without debate, the man has given us the hip-hop album of the year. So if we're going to talk songs, the top songs of the year, and put Jay-Z's Root Picnic freestyle as if that shit is available on DSPs or something like that. I mean, I can at least say Biggie and Tupac's freestyle is available to listen to on DSPs. But at least that shit got a beat to it. At least that shit is on wax. We can listen to it. Y'all put a acapella freestyle above just about what? Every Drake song on the album? All to be petty? What are we talking about here? And again, like I said, Charlemagne defeats his own point here because he says he agrees with the point. So what's the point of bringing up an OVO chain, nigga? If we're talking objective facts. Objective facts. Try again. Try a different analogy, a different comparison.
Freestyle should have been on there because it's not a song. But you jumped out the window defending that. I don't want to hear about none of that. I want
defending what?
to hear about this. Talk to me about your boy Grand Wizard being mentioned and all of this crypto shit. Talk to me about that. I ain't even pointing at Drake with this shit. Because like Drake could just be a person who, you know, is caught up in a situation that he don't even know nothing about. Sometimes you can get caught up in these, you know, deals with companies and not really truly know what's going on. I don't know. I'm just shooting bail. I have no idea.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Like, are Drake and Jay-Z even really competitors at this point? Because that's how it's being framed to me.
It's like online shit.
Rock Nation, Drake, and I'm like, and admittedly, I'm not tapped in on any of this shit, but like, I feel like Jay-Z's, if not retired, like he won. It's over.
Chris, Jay-Z's been home.
Right. So
he's already home and been home for a long time.
What is he fighting for, fighting over? Like that's what doesn't add up to me.
I think that there's this
or paying people to go out and like.
I still think these celebrities, they have big egos. They they don't like each other.
I don't.
And they've
I
not
don't
liked
believe that.
They've not liked each
I
other.
don't believe that. I
Come
think
on,
that you're buying into the internet narrative.
But Drake takes subliminal shots at Jay all the time.
Who? Say it again.
Drake takes subliminal shots at.
Exactly, but I don't think Jay thinking about Drake.
But I mean,
yo, y'all will sit here and act like Jay-Z is so above thinking about Drake as if Drake is some fucking peon, as if Drake is some little nigga. Y'all act like he's so above these conversations going on the internet, but he comes out and responds to all of them in the freestyle. Y'all think that he's so above criticism and, oh, Jay's not paying attention to this and that, but he texts Ebro about his hair documentary. Like, let's stop playing this game like Jay don't pay attention to, like, he's sitting so high up on his fucking mountain that he's not paying attention to anything, nigga. That he doesn't get offended. He doesn't get in his feelings too. That he's not human. Like, stop it. Y'all are doing this. This is the same shit y'all do to Kendrick Lamar. Y'all act like these niggas are above the program. Y'all act like these niggas are devoid of human emotions.
But he referenced him in the freestyle just now.
Because Drake took 1 million shots at him on Iceman.
So that's what I'm saying.
So what? But he's Jay. He's not supposed to be listening, right? He's not supposed to. He's Jay. He ain't supposed to be paying attention, right? Fuck out of here.
And so clearly,
if I had a head of hair like that, I wouldn't give a shit, man. If I was 56 years old with a head of hair like that, you can say whatever you want.
That's the other thing too. I see people saying, I wonder if Drake's going to reply to Jay-Z. Drake has already said what he said. Jay-Z replied to Drake. And why shouldn't he? He's outside. It's the 30-year anniversary of Reasonable Doubt, his first album, the album that laid the foundation for everything. I promise you, in 20, however many years, when So Far Gone is 30 years old, Drake is going to celebrate that too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to happen. He might celebrate it even sooner. When is the 10-year anniversary of So Far Gone? 2000. It's probably already happened, right?
Was it 2004, maybe?
20-year anniversary of So Far Gone. Drake should celebrate that. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you celebrate your first mainstream project?
2009, so it'd be 29.
So 2029 will be 20 years. You don't think Drake's going to celebrate that?
I think it could be something as simple as Drake just wanted this to be.
I think it can be something as simple as you platforming a nigga calling me a fucking pedophile on one of the biggest stages in the world. The fuck are we talking? Why are we at? Yo, bro. All right. That's enough for this response. I don't want to hear people just talking around the point, acting stupid. That's just gonna piss me off. But that's Charlamagne's response to DJ Academics basically calling into question him talking about, which he doesn't really even address. He just talks around the shit. It's a whole bunch of what. This is how you know that Charlamagne is a part of the machine, effectively. Number one, the nigga got $200 million. Let's stop it. Okay? The nigga got $200 million. You don't get $200 million from anybody and you're not playing ball. Let's just be real, okay? It's 2026, guys. Also, we're watching so much of this stuff being displayed in front of us, and we're not questioning anything. We're not batting an eye, and it's because Academics is in a unfavorable position when it comes down to public perception. And he's always going to be fighting uphill. So subsequently, the people around him are going to be fighting an uphill battle when it comes down to any situation, trying to silence him, his power, his platforms, or the people around him. It just is what it is. This is why Academics has to function in a cutthroat space of operating. I'm sorry. You just have to. You have to take the gloves off with these niggas. You should have did it a year ago. Once you started sitting down with Donald Trump's son, once you started making waves in who you like to vote for and who you like to fuck with, because a lot of people like me, we're gonna watch you sit down and interview Donald Trump Jr. just because it's you, bro. It's because it's you. It's because it's academics and we chat niggas. So they're gonna look at that and they're going to start putting a plan together for niggas like Ack. And that's just the reality of it. It's just the reality of it. He's the biggest hip hop media platform. They see that. And when you're the biggest, and if they're seeing that you're the biggest, then you're a target effectively, not just by people who want to take your spot, but people who just want you silenced. But yeah, it's real sticky with that. Let's get into some more of what Ack said, because I believe Ack responded to that as well. Let's get into that.
You think they're not saying, I ran up in somebody's house and did whatever to try to get that bread from somebody else? You think they're not saying, yo, good looks on giving us the blueprint to grand. Now, I know people gonna be like, man, fuck that nigga, man, we don't care about it. But that was, I'm just giving you the explanation behind why he tried to ask a favor from Schultz or Alex Media. He's citing that. Obviously, I guess it's really war, because they probably looked at Grand and probably like, nigga, Grand, fuck you, nigga. We're rocking with Charlemagne, nigga, fuck out of here. So they passed it to Charlemagne. But now Charlemagne is with this bullshit ass angle. Like, Charlemagne is acting like having cryptocurrency is a crime. That's the thing. He's like, oh, it's a crypto thing. What? It would make sense if he's like, yo, Grand is doing X, Y, and Z with crypto. He can't even explain it.
He can't explain shit. He doesn't even have a good response to niggas saying he's getting paid off. He don't even have a response to that. His response was, well, Ack, you got an OVO chain? The nigga don't even have a response to say that, nigga, you're being paid off. He couldn't even say, no, not. The fuck? Like, what are we talking about? It's time to get these guys out of here, man.
He's just saying Grand has crypto. What's the crime? So, you know, I'm watching it. This is the fourth time they done, like, you know, Diddy Bob try to fix some shit, like, and think that, like, it's about to be, oh.
And what are they really serving Grand Wizard? What are y'all there for? What are y'all expecting to do? See if he ever comes to America? See if he ever takes any visits, some trips? Like, what are we talking about?
Because they think that they're trying to get, like, us on defense, or at least me. Well, I don't know, not me, but like Grant. But like, nigga, Grant thoroughbred, man. Yo, the funniest thing, the more they play with Grant running up even more on their ass. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, the more they play with Grant running up even more. Yo, Academics TV been torturing these niggas. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Yo, I look up the Rock Nation offices. Yo, I'm gonna tell you how much inventory. Yo, I think so. Obviously, you know when you log into accounts, like it's all shared. So, nigga, I think Charlemagne blocked Grand and Academics TV. Nigga, it ended up blocking me because I could log into the account too. You know, it blocks everybody who could log into the account. Nigga, I'm blocked on Instagram. At least my personal one for Charlemagne. I don't know what the fuck. But yo, Grand is Grand been been terrorizing them dudes, man. Yo, the Rock Nation office terrorizing them. And the funniest thing, like I keep hearing.
Yeah, I believe it was Trap Lord Ross. I think Trap Lord Ross also gave his 2 cents and weighed in on the Roots Picnic debacle.
Okay. They got Taylor Swift and Toy Story at number 1. Janice is at number 7, right? It was at number 1. It's 5 weeks on the charts. Drake's cooking in the charts. Drake's up there. I'm seeing Drake on this chart a bunch of times. In number 7 with Janice, number 26 with Shebang, number 36 with Ran to Atlanta, number 41 with Miss Monet, 44 with National Treasure, Too Hard for the Radio, 45, 65 Plot Twist, Bees on the Table at 70. What did I...
Even Bees on the Table is still up there? And that's probably like my least favorite record from the... Come on.
78, 80 is Dust, 83 Make 'em Pay, 85 I'm Spent, 86 Burning Bridges, 98 Don't Worry. How many times are we going to we're just going to completely ignore. Now, don't make me do it, Jay.
And does Trap Lord Ross have an OVO chain as well? Charlemagne? Does Trap Lord Ross have an OVO chain? I'm sorry, maybe the wrong person is asking the questions. Maybe we got to get somebody other than Act to ask Charlemagne these questions. Because it don't look like Trap Lord Ross put on his OVO chain today. Maybe he forgot it.
any Jay-Z, Janice, Michael Jackson, Jason Aldean. I'm not seeing any Jay-Z on the charts. I'm not seeing any The jig is up. There's no Jay-Z on there. We've got Toy Story. We've got Olivia Rodrigo. Are there even any other rappers? Where's the next rapper? Where's the next most popping rapper behind Drake?
And now I want you guys to look at what's going on. And I want you to look at a situation like this, because look how they just slapped Jay-Z's name on and put him in the midst of one of the greatest or the best songs of 2026. Look how they just throw it in. Just here you go. Participation award. Here you go. Do you guys not realize this is what they do to these Grammys? A lot of these motherfuckers who got all these accolades, a lot of these niggas who have all of these Grammys, i.e. Adochi, like how I was saying, we ignore how easy it is for the industry to just slap these random accolades onto. They make the accolade, then they just slap here. Yeah. It's almost like how you can finesse a New York Times bestseller. Y'all know that you can do that, right? You know that you could easily finesse yourself into it. Means nothing. It means nothing to have a New York Times bestseller anymore. I'm sorry. You can literally finesse your way into just having a New York Times bestseller. It's the same thing here. We watch the industry just throw accolades niggas' way who, and this is a prime example of somebody who doesn't deserve it, is not even in conversations, has no charting music, has not released anything in how long? And even the two things that he did release the other day did what, 92K in streams or some sad shit like that. So it's like, we got to be real about what era it is. This is not Jay-Z's era anymore. Y'all are not going to force him back into this era by just slapping, oh yeah, he did a freestyle, we're putting that at number. Like, come on, what are we doing?
Mac Miller. We got posthumous Mac Miller. I'm not being offensive, but like, we got a dead guy is whooping Jay-Z in the charts. And Young Miami, the females are getting more love in the charts. All right, shout out to Don Toliver. I like Don Toliver. Okay, he the only person other than Drake that's still alive that's actually putting up numbers on the board in this chart. Shout out to Baby. This is actually a hard song as well, but it's like Drake is dominating it. Bossman D-Lo, I'm glad he's on the charts. He actually really deserves to be on there. But like, rap is down bad. Even Phoenix Flexing, this ain't even a rap song, arguably. You know what I'm saying? So Jay-Z's not even beating Phoenix Flexing, who allegedly has made a song with AI. So you want to talk about bots. Allegedly, this is a bot song, all right? And that's cooking Jay-Z. So that's what's going on there, all right? Now let's see this Roots Picnic thing, all right? Let's see the glaze that goes on here. Let's see the glaze. It's not even a song. Jay-Z's Roots Picnic freestyle doesn't even have a beat. It's funny how one verse could F up the game. That's a line Jay-Z rapped towards the end of his classic B-side, Imaginary Players, and it still rings true following his headline-making appearance going a cappella at May's Roots Picnic in Philadelphia. Well, it didn't chart on the Billboard chart. If you're saying how one verse could F up the game, then Drake's entire album, Iceman, destroyed, literally, it made the game extinct.
Like, what? Hey, come on, run that back. Holy.
May's Roots Picnic in Philadelphia. Well, it didn't chart on the Billboard chart. If you say it could F up the game, that's a line Jay's there. All right, back. Now let's see this Roots Picnic thing. All right, let's see the glaze that goes on here. Let's see the glaze. It's not even a song. Jay-Z's Roots Picnic freestyle doesn't even have a beat. It's funny how one verse could F up the game. That's a line Jay-Z rapped towards the end of his classic B-side, Imaginary Players, and it still rings true following his headline-making appearance going a cappella at May's Roots Picnic in Philadelphia. Well, it didn't chart on the Billboard chart. If you're saying how one verse could F up the game, then Drake's entire album, Iceman, destroyed, literally, it made the game extinct.
Call it out. Call it out. If we're talking about one verse is effing up the game, what did Drake just do? What do y'all think Drake just did? Oh, but it was dissing you guys' hip-hop. It was dissing you guys' hip-hop savior. It was dissing the guy that you tried to crown the king of this shit 2 years ago, but he's nowhere to be found. Y'all haven't heard from the nigga in months. You're the hip-hop king. And they don't like that, of course.
Everyone talking about who he dissed and why for like 2 weeks straight. But you didn't give Drake the same courtesy when he had everyone talking about who he dissed and why for like 5 weeks straight, because we're in the 5th week now. It seems like only yesterday when he got up on that stage in front of the crowd and showed them who was who and what was what. Meanwhile, Dame Dash, Oshino, and Nicki Minaj were the only ones to respond in some form or fashion. Now we wait and see what Drake has to say about some of the jabs sent his way. In any event, the rest of this year should be way more interesting thanks to this still never officially released freestyle. This was executive produced by Drake. He wouldn't have popped out and done this if Drake hadn't absolutely washed him on all of those songs. Okay, that's what we're dealing with. Okay, it's ridiculous. Okay.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Shout out to Trap Lord Ross for keeping it P. That's just the facts of the matter. We're pulling some legendary shit that I've never seen for Hove. So yeah, it's crazy at this point. Okay, let's get into this another Glasses Malone rant that's been going around for a minute. I haven't exactly watched this because I started paying Glasses Malone dust after a while. Dude is off his rocker, just like a lot of these Kendrick fans. It's starting to become harder and harder to even listen to clips of their takes. Okay, it's hard to just get through a minute of half of the shit these guys have to say because it's almost effectively like walking into an insane asylum and trying to hold a viable conversation with anybody in there. It's like walking into a mental health facility and I don't know, trying to give a dissertation, okay, on hip hop or on Logic or some shit like that. It's ludicrous. It's crazy, and effectively, I don't see the use in continuing to respond to certain people at this point. Drake has mollywopped the game. There's bodies in the street right now. Nobody's they're gasping for air. Nobody's alive. It's done. It's Iceman came, spent the block, and now it's scary hours. Holy. Let's get into it. Let's see what Glasses Malone has to say, man.
ARI sues Drake's October's very own following default, forbearance, and alleged non-payment of millions in contractual obligations.
I'm gonna breakdown of it. What happened?
ARI OVO Growth Capital LLC has commenced litigation in the Supreme Court of British Columbia, that's Canada, against October's very own ULC OVO, the lifestyle apparel and entertainment company co-founded by Aubrey Drake Graham, Oliver L. Khatib, and Noah Forty Shibe, led by Chief Executive Officer Derek Drex Jonkar. OVO defaulted, formally acknowledged the debt, and continued defaults under a written forbearance agreement made.
So I believe most of this stuff has been debunked. The digging that Glasses is trying to do here, if I'm not mistaken, this was debunked in a video by Jay Roebuck. And shout out to Jay for following your boy. For following the Doja Room, following your boy Dope Boy Diesel. We definitely appreciate that. And shout out to him for that amazing 1v5. But I believe that he definitely debunked this video, this video with Glasses a couple of days ago, if I'm not mistaken. This. Let's just get to his. Let's just go to his video.
Drake is broke. He's gonna lose OVO. He's gonna lose his mansion. It's over. I mean, there was a guy on YouTube yelling that, so it has to be true, right? Listen, man. There are a lot of people on YouTube who are feeding people false information, or they believe that it's true because they don't actually comprehend what they're saying, and then they're promoting it to thousands of people. And that is something that has to stop. And that's why I'm here, because I want to provide an...
Not only that, let me just speak to that before he really gets into the meat and potatoes, because I think that's a good point. We have a lot of figures on the YouTube spaces, X spaces, just on the internet in general, who spread misinformation like this, like we're going to get into, lies, propaganda, and they just go on about their merry way once it's debunked, once it's proven wrong. They just go on about their merry way, like it never happened. And we really, really gotta put an end to this shit. I'm sorry. We really gotta put an end to this shit and those people. It, not in a GTA way, but yeah, we gotta put an end to these people with these kind of platforms. They're fucking up the game. Like I said, it's terrible. And what they're doing is effectively brainwashing thousands of idiots to crash out every day, okay, and make everybody else's lives harder.
Accurate outlook and actually explain to you what is going on and why it is going on so you can walk away with a concrete understanding. Because peddling propaganda or headlines for clicks and views is not something that I will ever do here. So I know we saw the thing about Drake's OVO company being sued, and I know we saw that Drake could potentially be selling 50% of OVO, and people are trying to put these two things together and say Drake is broke. But in reality, this is really just a business move that I will explain to you and talk about why it could be happening, because no one can say things 100% for certainty because we're not in the room. But we can look at some context clues, some previous history of clothing lines being sold, especially ones that were owned by hip hop artists. Or
now, I want to stop 1 second while before we get into this again, and just acknowledge how we're having a conversation about Drake's business and all of this stuff. None of this is a conversation about the music. None of this is a conversation about the music, how good Iceman is, what it's doing on the charts. This news has nothing to do with Iceman. It doesn't affect Iceman. It doesn't affect the music that we got. It doesn't affect how we look at the music. Even if Drake was broke. Even if the only way we could probably, the only song where we would probably be looking at him a little bit different on is Don't Worry. Okay? If Drake even was going broke.
Or athletes. We'll take a look at some evidence, and then we'll form our own opinion. But before I get into anything, please make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. If
y'all go ahead and subscribe to my boy Joe Roebuck, man. One of the great owls in the spaces, man. Y'all make sure y'all go support this very well articulate, very well researched young man over here. He's doing God's work, okay? The 6 God's work, that is.
If you aren't already, and please hit the hype button if you're watching on mobile. That will help this video get out into the algorithm. I won't hold you any longer. Let's get into it. So let's start with this. Everything we are talking about in this video has to do with OVO clothing and apparel. It is not OVO sound. It is not Drake's music. We are talking about the apparel, the clothing. That is what we're talking about. Now, OVO apparel was founded by Drake, 40, and Oliver. If you remember the famous line, Drake said, I let Ollie take the owl, told him brand it for me. I gave Oliver the owl, told him brand it for me. And that's exactly what he did. Let me give you some brief background. Number one, Oliver and Drake came up together in the same circles, particularly very early in his career. Oliver was a DJ. He worked in the highest fashion stores, particularly the ones that dealt in streetwear. So when it came down to the branding, the image, and the likeness that dealt with Drake and the whole OVO umbrella, from the music to the clothing, there was no better person in his circle to do this with than 40 and Oliver. And because Oliver had that background in retail, but also was in tune with streetwear and street culture in Toronto and New York City, he was the perfect person to run these flagship stores. And not only did he brand them, he made them international. Let's look at some of the numbers. OVO was making $50 million plus per year, $7.7 million in revenue just online. I said they were international. They have 7 flagship stores in Toronto, New York City, LA, Vegas, and London. And they have 9 licensing partnerships, which means they were doing these brand collaborations. So they really built this thing from the bottom into an international global powerhouse. But I know why you're here. You want to hear about the drama. Why is Drake considering selling 50% of this company? And what's going on with this loan? And does Drake really owe people this money? Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start here. Drake is considering selling 50% of OVO to AB.
Which I think at this time, I don't know if he's already done it or not, but yeah, he's considering it.
ABG, and I'll explain who ABG is in a minute. But the first thing I want to tell you is this. If you're looking at this move from Drake, the person, you've already lost the plot. We are talking about a multi-million-dollar business. Once you get into the word business and remove the personal, the way that you view all operations will change. It's not about an individual or what an individual has. It's about what a company has, what their
Yeah, I mean that's what the Stan Wars have done, and we're in the middle of the Stan Wars right now. These niggas are not looking for the truth or any clarity of the situation. They're looking for a way to put a new narrative together for Drake. And again, I put this out here for you guys just because it's important that we highlight what these K-Thots do. It's just important that it's so imperative. It's so important because it's really, it gets to the point where it's pathetic. It's very sad, and like Drake said, these guys don't really got ground to stand on. They're standing on quicksand. Okay, so they're not looking for the actual facts of the case. They are looking for a narrative. Let me give you guys the playbook. If you're just getting in here, if you're just, figuring out how these K-Thots operate, how these K-Thots work, allow me. I'll explain it however many times we need to explain it. This is why K-Thots hate, number one, numbers, and they hate facts. Okay? They hate numbers, and they hate facts. All right? Step one for the K-Thot is to create a new narrative. You caught Glasses Malone at the new narrative step, okay? Then Jay came in very honorably and debunked that shit. Well, what he's about to do right now, we're but witnessing. Some of you may have watched the video, some may not. Allow us to watch it together. But we're here right now, okay? We're right here right now. We are on debunked. It gets debunked a day later. Because usually that's all it takes for these lazy ass narratives and talking points. It takes about a good 24 hours for someone to do their due diligence, for us to scrub through the internet, scrub through our documents, huddle up in the corner, come back and debunk all that shit. So we are at step 2 right now, okay? Step 3 after this is to call us all gay once again. Okay? Step 3 after we debunk it, they call us gay. So the full circle of life of a K-Thot narrative, they create the new narrative, it gets debunked, then they call us gay. All right? Y'all go ahead. Take this if you need it, man. Take this if you need it.
Cash flow is, how much they make year over year, how much cash burn they have, what do they lose, supply chains, all of these things we have to take into account. It's not just about an individual. So let's start there. Then we are going to move on to how much OVO is making. Now, I already put this up on the screen for you before. Look at the licensing deals that they've done over the past year. When we talk about Disney, PlayStation, Jordan, Bape, the biggest global iconic brands, legacy brands in the world, they've been working with, which means they've been putting out a lot of clothes. So when I put here looking at the problem, high retail overhead is eating into the declining revenue trend. AKA, it costs a lot of money to make these clothes, and sometimes we can't sell all of it, and then we're stuck. Or we have to put things on sale, or we have employees, or we have 7 stores. Therefore, we have to make some structural changes. And some of the structural changes we could make are partnering or selling half of the company, or maybe a little bit less than half, with someone who's an expert in this who can help us increase our margins.
This is regular business talk. If you guys understand, when you start to get so big and you have to start making the logistics, and that's basically what he's talking about here. He's just talking logistics. He's talking day-to-day logistics and how to make this a sound structural business that can continue to run smoothly and not have these hiccups. That's all we're explaining here. If you guys know business, that's all we're talking. And so we got niggas talking about Drake is broke effectively because of a restructuring to make the logistics of the business run a little bit smoother. That's a lot. That's got you guys talking about this nigga's broke. Oh man.
If any of you have ever owned a business or operated a business, particularly a clothing business or even the food business, you know that the margins are razor thin. Any improvements you can make will improve your margins and help you make more profit. Now let's talk about the loan, because this is the story that everybody wants to run with. Let's go through it. OVO takes out a $5.2 million loan from ARI. Now, the purpose of this loan is to continue to grow the company. It's a capital fund injection.
And again, let me just teach you K-Thought something. See, rich niggas don't spend their own money. Okay? They spend others' money. Why the fuck would Drake put his own 5.2 million in there when he can just get the loan? Why would he do that? This is what rich niggas. You gotta realize we not talking to niggas who got a bag. We're not talking to niggas who know business. We're not talking to niggas who at least, because I'm not gonna act like I got the bag, but I know business and I've been around a lot of money. I've been around a lot of niggas with money, and I know a lot of niggas with money. This is basics. This is basics. Holy shit.
For operations. Now, again, look at all those collaborations I just gave you that happened over the past year. NFL, Disney, BAPE, WWE. When you are doing all these collaborations, your overhead increases exponentially because you are forced to make a lot of clothes and sell a lot of clothes quickly. So this move is a leverage move. It's not something they did desperately because the company was about to go bankrupt. If anyone here has ever done business, or you've worked with other people, or you've done real estate, you know the phrase OPM, other people's money. Do you think Drake writes a check from his personal bank account to fund the clothing expenditures for OVO? If you do think that, I'm happy you're watching this video, because that is not how any of this works. You use other people's capital to increase your revenue.
What did I just tell ya? What did I just tell ya? And real niggas who know business, but we gonna let my boy speak.
So when they take out that loan, here's what happens. There was
I didn't watch this video yet, by the way. I just know that he made it, and I hadn't watched the original video to even know what anything is even fucking talking about. But let's get back to it.
This payment from OVO, right? That's documented. And ARI had the right to enforce payment. But what they did was they came to an agreement with OVO and they put this into forbearance, which essentially means you don't have to make any more payments of the loan for a certain period of time. And while that loan was in forbearance, OVO worked on executing the larger play, which is looking for an exit or looking for a partner who can purchase 50% of the company for those infrastructure needs to help them have wider margins and make more money. Very simple. If you've had student loans, you probably have put them in forbearance before, where you're not making any payments and it's an agreement you have with the loan processor. I can hear you now. See, you're just caping. You know, you like Drake, so you're going to say it that way. I'm just telling you what it is. Now,
these are just facts.
Why would a company sue if they agree to put something in forbearance? There's a discrepancy here, right? There's a dispute that's going on between OVO. And what OVO is saying is, we made you whole. We made this payment. But what the company is saying is, what about the interest? We were banking on you having to pay this, the amount you took plus interest, and that is why we gave you the loan. While OVO is saying, well, we repaid you early. We don't want to pay that. And this happens all the time in business. This paperwork gets filed. They go to court. They reach a settlement. They don't want to pay that full amount. And this company wants to extract as much money from them as possible. Cut and dry. This is how business works. So I know the headline is Drake misses a loan payment. He's going broke. He needs capital. He's going to sell his catalog.
But that's obviously what is going to get you fuck niggas to click onto the article and read and see what's going on. And a lot of you niggas don't understand the business jargon. So you're going to get up here like a nigga like Glasses Malone and read all of that stuff verbatim and think that you sound smart or that you're exposing something, but you're just showing how stupid you niggas sound. That's just effectively what a nigga like that is doing. He's showing how stupid he sounds, and he's showing that you don't really know business. You don't really know what's being said. It's okay. It's all right.
He's losing the mansion. You know, OVO put up the logo. They put up the logo. That was the collateral. They're going to lose it. Shut up, please. Just shut up. Shut up. Keep listening. I'm going to explain to you the next step. Why would they want to sell 50% and why now? Number one, you want to sell at a peak. Iceman just dropped. OVO has just done all these brand collaborations that I've listed. So you want to sell when the company is worth a lot, not if the value goes down. They are choosing infrastructure over cash. The company they want to sell with to or partner with, ABG, has 1,700 licensing partners across 150 countries. These are more brands that OVO can work with and collaborate with. What did I tell you the play was that they've been doing over the past 2 years? Duh. OVO is self-managed, right? They have their own team, but they need more infrastructure who has more experience in retail and making clothes. If you remember, Kanye West and Sway had this famous interview, and I'm gonna play this line right here.
My thing is, I was out in Italy, even right now, trying to start my own company. The type of people that work with musicians, for the most part, is very difficult to get high-end, respected fashion people to work with someone that's considered to be a musician. Now, who's gonna be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more? Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man.
There are two things Ye said that we have to look at. The first thing he talks about is when you get to
legendary interview,
a certain level in fashion,
legendary meme, legendary clip.
You need more infrastructure because it's impossible to create
facts. When it comes down to certain industries, you have to expand. You almost get to a point to where you have to deal with the bigger players and the people controlling the manufacturers. The people have monopolies on so much, depending on the industry that you're in or you're trying to break into. A lot of these companies have monopolies on this shit. Okay? They have the I mean, look at Rock Nation or Live Nation and just how they have a monopoly on live touring. We can look at that and how we understand that. Just think about doing your own tours, and you want to do stadium tours and bigger tours, and you can just be like how Sway says, oh, just do it yourself, empower yourself. Hey, everybody, I want to throw a tour, put money towards this so we can. You can do that. But how effective will it be? Will it work? Will it be a disaster? Will you even get people in? It's just, it's not viable a lot of the times. And you get to that point to where, like I said, you have to contend with the bigger players who may own the building that you need to use. They may own the equipment that you need to work with. They might own the products that you need to include in yours. It's so many ways that these big players position themselves so that you have to go through them, effectively gaining their blessing, effectively, letting them be the barrier of entry to say whether you can succeed or not. They have the power to crush you if they don't want to see you as competition. That's a lot. That's how capitalism works. That's how a lot of the world works.
It closing these large factories if you don't have the connections, even if you have hundreds of millions of dollars or all the star power in the world.
Yeah, that don't mean nothing to old money. That don't mean nothing to a Medici family. Like most of you niggas don't even know who the Medicis is. We talking Illuminati families, like we talking way up there. Like, come on, we talking about people who can give a fuck about a Kanye West and who he is. They probably can give a fuck about a Jay-Z, a Drake, and who they are and what they're trying to do. There's nothing to them. Little money,
which is why
we're talking about people whose money is probably not even counted by Forbes. We're talking about people who probably have way more money than Elon, and it's not even reported. We're not even going to hear about those guys.
Kanye went on to partner with Gap, which is why he's partnered with Balenciaga, which is why he's partnered with Nike or Adidas. Because once you hit a certain ceiling, it's hard to get the profit margins that you need without the ultimate connections, which is why some people choose to partner or sell half of their company to a brand. And more on that in a minute. The other part of this is Sway is telling Ye, just do it yourself, just do it yourself. And Ye has actually walked this back and said Sway kind of did have the answers. You do things yourself until you reach a certain level, and then you need help or you need an exit. And that is exactly where OVO is at. So who is this company that they want to sell to? ABG, Authentic Brands Group, and they are a machine. They have 50 plus brands already in their portfolio, which means you're working with an expert, which is really the whole point of this. They have 1,700 licensing partners. They're in 150 countries, and they do $36 billion in annual retail. Who do they work with? Who you have likely heard of? Reebok, Champion, Sports Illustrated, Forever 21, and they even own the licensing to certain individuals like Elvis, Shaquille O'Neal, or Muhammad Ali. AKA, this is billion-dollar business, and what they see, what OVO sees is, this is how you reach the next level. You work with somebody who's an expert in apparel and branding, which is exactly what OVO is to Drake. And who has done this before? We want to look at, what does history tell us? You can look at Rocawear, which once sold like 100% of it, but then it went completely downhill because there was no more creative spark or energy in the building. They just went completely corporate. You can look at Sean John, which sold completely to Global Brands Group, and eventually it went bankrupt and the company collapsed because the culture left the building. But when has this ever worked? Look at LeBron James in Spring Hill, right? LeBron is a beautiful businessman, by the way. He worked with this and he sold it at a $725 million valuation. He didn't need the money. He sold it because he needed a partner who can help him elevate to the next level. Working with an expert and a strategic partnership is always the way to go. So why is Drake selling? It's not because he's broke. It's not because OVO is broke. It is because they are working with a structural group who can provide the infrastructure and the backing to elevate the company. They are already generating over $50 million annually, but they are taking a loss because the profit margins aren't where they need to be. But by selling at the peak to ABG, they are able to create more cash flow and more profit for everyone. Retaining 50% of the company gives them that brand identity, that creative control that Oliver has built with the branding of OVO. It doesn't sell out the company completely where they would tank if it's just ran by a large corporation.
He's spitting facts here. And shout out to Jay Roebuck. I want him to go ahead and this is funny. Go ahead and follow him so you can watch the rest of that video if that's something that you want to do. But I want to get into some of the things that my boy Dirt, What's the Dirt, has been talking about. Things have been brewing up. So I want to get into some of what he's been talking about here. Let's get into the beef. Let's get into the beef.
The thing that gets me about like these sorts of channels, like
fuckery.
these Drake hate channels, is like a lot of these guys have really tried to position themselves as being the voice of the culture, like being the real. We are the ones who are representing the culture in the right way.
These niggas really do think they are the culture, but a lot of these niggas are grifters and dick suckers. Okay, a lot of these niggas who rap, who give you half of this shit, and been on Kendrick Lamar's dick for the past 2 years, they can barely recite his lyrics. Okay, let's just keep it a fact. But I'm gonna let my boy Dirt cook.
We are the gatekeepers. We are the authentic version of the culture. But when you look at their channels, they're not doing anything positive for the culture. They're literally some of the most toxic people in the space. Like this channel, for example, constantly calls out academics when he's basically doing the same thing himself. There's a bunch of these channels that live for negative articles or news about Drake. Here's another one, another cultural crusader, right? Drake is selling OVO because he's broke. Drake hates women. Drake doesn't want respect. He wants to be desired. Do you guys feel like this is benefiting hip-hop culture? Do you think this is making a change? Do you think this is positive?
As I've been saying for the past month, These are the people that we have to get out of hip hop. This is the clown show that I'm talking about. These are the people who can't effectively separate themselves from hate and the music and whatever else they're feeling inside. There's so many people who've come out and said Iceman is a great album, you know, this is that, and so many people have taken this opportunity to say, well, Drake's name is back in rotation, let's make sure we get as much content as we can from him. Let's milk this cow for everything we can get it for. You know what I'm saying? That's just how a lot of these niggas move. That's just how a lot of these niggas move, and they're shameless. They don't care. And these are the people who I've been calling for the past month, us to separate ourselves from. I don't care if you was a follower of them for the past 2 years or the last month. If the last month hasn't shown you that the people that you are following are fucking clowns, then hey,
you think this is moving?
You might as well just go ahead and sync with them, because shit like this is disgusting. And it's the reason why channels like mine exist in the capacity that they do, because we have to continuously fight these narratives. We have to continuously keep the truth alive, because there's very few of us who are willing to do it. Most Drake fans and people who like Drake, they like to just talk the music. What's the Dirt was even one of those people, one of those guys who wanted to just talk about the music. But so many of these guys come after him if you don't cover even the music in a favorable way. They have politicized the game so much to the point to where, I mean, think about how these niggas, and we watched how Drake fans acted when Dirt put out his video grading and breaking down Euphoria. And then he went to break down Family Matters and niggas lost their fucking minds. And just from that alone, he reported on the response that he got from Drake fans to Kendrick fans were night and day. And these are just everyday case studies that we can draw into to show ourselves and look back and say, well, Drake fans and Kendrick fans are not the same. We're not talking about the same people here. We're not talking about two sides of one coin anymore. And this is why I said the people on that side have to separate themselves from the clown show, because we're now effectively realizing that one side is destroying the conversation around hip hop and hip hop itself. Because if this is the type of stuff that an artist has to think about facing when he's coming out and he's putting his best foot forward and he wants to make a splash in the industry, he wants to, you know, focus on the dedication of his his craft and how good he or she may be, and let's say he gets signed to OVO. Well, automatically for a lot of these people, that puts a target on their backs. Automatically, these people are trying to push the smear campaigns and bend the truth and bend reality. These are the people who are killing hip hop. I've been telling you guys this shit for a month. I'm just waiting for people to wake up.
The genre forward. Do you think this is helping? Then there's people like Glasses Malone, who's covering a lawsuit against Drake's OVO clothing company. Absolutely nothing to do with hip hop music or pushing the culture forward. In fact, you'd think a lot of these guys, if they did care that much about the culture, that they would kind of look in the mirror and say, damn, maybe we're doing more harm than good. Maybe waking up every day and spreading hate against one man isn't actually doing anything for hip hop. Maybe, just maybe, we're part of the problem. And look, I'm just speaking facts. In many ways, these types of channels are even worse for hip hop because they only focus on hating one man. Zero passion or care goes into this content. Like, in reality, the biggest haters and the most toxic YouTube channels on the entire internet are pro-Kendrick channels.
That's a fact. That is a fucking fact. And again, that's why so many Drake fans felt like they had to start making channels. They had to start keeping the record straight. I had to cam up for you niggas. I cammed up for you niggas. I said, well, hold up, nigga. Let me put myself in the midst, because I know I'm a debater. I know I'm a talker, and I can debate with the best of them. I can talk along with the best of them. I can out-talk the best of them. So it was important. That's why so many of us came to the fray and started making channels and started making our voices heard, because channels like these were drowning out the narrative. They were drowning out the airwaves. It was just constant Drake hate, pushing these pedophile narratives and bars and weird shit. Like it was true guys. There's one shorty on here, and when I find her, I'm gonna roast the fuck out of her because I wanted to do it for a while. But there's one shorty on YouTube where she just swore up and down Drake had to be a pedophile. Swore up and down. And that was effectively her videos. Didn't care about hip hop, didn't care about the conversation, but we were pushing these pedo bars that had not even hip hop channels looking at Drake like, whoa, what's going on over there? What do these niggas got going on over there? It just made all of us look bad, what Kendrick did. It made all of us look crazy. It made hip hop look crazy as a whole.
Some of the most toxic people in the space. They're some of the worst people in the space, and that's just a fact. And
not even just toxic people. No, they are some of the worst people, bad human beings. Terrible human beings we're talking about.
This is how I know a lot of these people don't really care about the culture like that, because if they did, they would recognize what they're doing isn't doing anything beneficial. In fact, they're making it worse. Day by day, video by video, they're contributing to the negativity. They're contributing to the hate. They're quite literally some of the most negative voices and toxic people in the space, bar none. What I'm saying is common sense, right? Like, if you really care about the culture as much as you say you do, then you wouldn't be running a drama channel. You wouldn't be contributing to the toxicity in hip hop. You wouldn't be spreading hate. You wouldn't be spreading negativity. That is 99% of these guys' channels. So no, none of these people are for the culture. I've said it for a long time. These people are for their bank accounts. They use the word culture because it's a great way to pull people in. But at the end of the day, none of these guys are for the culture.
Yeah, these guys like the Charles Brown, whatever his name is, these niggas is fucking retards, okay? These niggas aren't about culture. They're about pushing narratives. I showed y'all this. Let's get back to it. Hold on. Let's just get back into it. Let's get back to it one more time, because we gonna push this hard. We pushing this hard. Yeah. These guys are only about a certain thing. It's only about pushing these narratives and shit to them. They create the narrative, we debunk it a day later, they call all of us gay, they have a temper tantrum, they crash out, then they go and create another narrative. This is what they do. This is what most of those channels do. Okay, so what's the dirt is 100% correct. This is shit that I've been trying to bring to you guys' attention for the longest, and I'm glad a bigger channel like him is also bringing eyes to these fuck niggas who need to be packed the fuck up out of here. Effectively, they need to get out of here. We don't need these niggas talking about hip hop. We don't need to listen to these niggas. So of course, this sensitive ass old nigga, who was apparently on his deathbed a few times, we ain't gonna get into that. He's heartbroken about that apparently, but this nigga, of course, he wanted to respond.
What's the dirt has no business speaking on our culture. He's done it one too many times.
I say he does, bitch. I say he does. You say he don't got no business speaking on it. I say he does, nigga. Black man, FBA, however you want to put it, nigga. Been here. Family roots trace back. Been here, nigga. I say he can, nigga. The fuck? Fuck you, nigga. Pussy.
Homeboy, you are a documentarian. You document the culture.
And you're a dick sucker, nigga. Effectively wearing my mom's glasses, nigga. She got those same shits, I promise you.
You do not decide what happens in it. You are not part of this. You are a Canadian guy, a Caucasian, that has nothing to do with what we got going on. You started to watch it
and
like
you're
our...
cross-eyed. And you're cross-eyed, brother. Cross-eyed, frog-eyed, whatever is going. One eye's going this way, the other one's going that. Fix that shit. Fix that shit, nigga.
Music felt like you had a voice in here because you went on YouTube and made a channel. Homeboy.
No, he went on YouTube and made a splash in the culture. Dude went on YouTube and made a splash in the culture to where people like you, people like Joe Budden, academics, was giving him praise and giving him his flowers because he did the work and he was acknowledged for it.
Boy, you're not this. You're not us. This has nothing to do with you. It doesn't give you a voice because you've amassed a bunch of followers by being a Drake dick rider, my guy. So what we're not going to do is listen to you about what we got going on over here, right? You guys have a propaganda machine right now, all trying to make Drake the #1 Don Dada, this, that, and the third. It ain't going to happen, gang.
We got a propaganda machine to make Drake the #1. Well, Drake went #1, whether you like it or not, nigga. The fuck? A propaganda machine? What propaganda do you need to make niggas listen to Drake? What propaganda is needed to convince niggas to listen to the #1 artist, the #1 rapper for the last 15 years? What propaganda do you need to convince people of that? What? This, again, create a narrative, debunk it, they're gonna call us gay. Okay? Create a narrative, debunk it, they call us gay. This is crazy. What propaganda is needed to convince people to listen to Iceman enough that it's a #1 album? To listen to Janice Shut the Fuck Up enough that it's a #1 song? 4 weeks? Oh, man.
Okay, the culture has decided this guy's not happening. It ain't working out. Okay, all them streams, I don't know who's listening to him because the culture ain't. Somebody's listening to him, but it ain't us.
Yo, you see this? You see, I told y'all in the last stream, you see why do y'all see why real hip hop conversations cannot go on? Do you see why we can't have real conversations with these niggas? Because you got niggas like this who are effectively denying streams, denying charts, denying everything, denying reality. And we're supposed to have viable conversation, like real conversations with these niggas? We're supposed to have real hip-hop talks with these niggas? Where do we start? Where do we get started? Where do we get started? How do you have a conversation with a fuck nigga like this? How do you have conversations with a dumbass nigga like this, bro? Who's out here begging with his fucking Cash App in the corner. Who's already admitted that he makes his living hating on Drake, nigga. He told you he makes a living hating on Drake. He's a fuck nigga. A bitch ass fuck nigga. Old ass nigga doing this shit. Old ass nigga doing this shit. Like, nigga, you are a clown, bro. You think you speak for a nigga like me? The fuck, nigga? First, #1, you too light-skinned to talk for a nigga like me, bitch. Fuck, nigga. That goes for any of you light-skinned niggas. I don't give a fuck. Owls, K-Dots, none of y'all niggas ever think you're fucking talking for me, nigga. The fuck wrong with you light-skinned niggas? And then on top of that, you're a fucking retard. You're fucking delusional. You might need to hit some more of that chemotherapy up, nigga. That shit might have fucked you up. Shit might have made you a little loopy. The fuck? This is why we can't have conversations with you guys. Y'all are not going to get Drake fans to stop trolling and having the conversations that they want to have, effectively disrespecting you niggas every chance they get, when we can't have a honest to God conversation about this stuff. It's like, what are we talking about? This is ridiculous.
Just going to be honest with you. Now, you said that we're the gatekeepers gang. The reason that we are getting so much traction and you feel the need to address this.
You're not getting any traction, brother. Y'all niggas are not getting any traction. Y'all are becoming infamous dick suckers and known for nothing but being infamous dick suckers. We don't know y'all for y'all commentary. We don't know y'all like a nigga like J. Roebuck, who's very articulate, knows his shit, can obviously dive into the facts. We don't know y'all for that. Y'all niggas just get on here and flap dick suckers. Flap dick suckers. Y'all not talking from no experience. Y'all not talking from no knowledge. Y'all haven't done anything in the culture that is noteworthy. Y'all just here flapping dick suckers and expect us to give you points for that. Calling yourselves gatekeepers for what? Because you niggas used to make music? I promise you I've stood in way more rooms than half of you niggas on YouTube could ever stand in, nigga. Easily. That don't make you nothing, nigga. That don't make you hot shit. That don't make you a gatekeeper of the culture. I'm sorry. Because if you a gatekeeper, I'm a gatekeeper, nigga. And if you ain't letting him in, I am. The fuck is you talking about, nigga?
It's because low-key
the culture don't even claim you bitch-ass niggas. Let's just keep it a stack. The culture don't even claim fuck niggas like y'all. Bitch.
Are the gatekeepers. We're the only thing stopping you guys from running amok with all this Erykah Badu body part shit you're talking about. This is our culture, gang. We speak about things. We criticize things. We don't go around trying to hold hands and be kumbaya all day. That's not the culture. Okay? You're walking in here trying to tell us these guys don't do anything positive for the culture. They're always talking.
Y'all don't. See, I can get up here and talk because before the Doja Room, well, I would say in the midst of the Doja Room, I can't say it was before the Doja Room because I've been doing this for a minute, but before the Doja Room has become what you guys know it as, I've put in the work interviewing indie artists, interviewing and covering trials, getting insiders on these Diddy trials and all type of shit, doing positive shit for the culture and the people who work and, you know, have a hobby and passion in it. Because I have a hobby and passion in it. I've been the cameraman. I've been the director. I've been the producer. I've been the artist. I've done it all. And not only for myself, but for other people. So I want to figure out where the fuck these niggas all come from, talking how they talk, and figuring that they are the gatekeepers of the culture, and that they aren't just pushing straight negativity and fuckery into hip hop in the talks. We're not talking about people who have anything real to talk about, like I said. We're not talking about people who know the music. We're not talking about people who know their shit. We're talking about people making hit pieces, hate content day after day after day about one man and one man only, dick sucking. But this nigga has the like nigga, I want a nigga like this to realize you have a Drake fan page, nigga. You operate a Drake fan page. If more than 90% of your content in the last 2 years has been about Drake and what he's doing or not doing, you run a Drake fan page, nigga. You run a Drake fan page. You niggas are thoughts. Let's just keep it a stack.
Negative. Guess what? You're lit.
I hate listening to this fuck nigga talk. Niggas like this, it's like, where do you even get off fixing your fucking mouth in this tone, nigga? Where do you even get off fixing your mouth in this tone to talk to niggas like this? You're a fuck nigga. Do you realize that? Do you realize none of us respect you, nigga? Do you realize you a fuck ass boy? Do you realize niggas would spit on you if they seen you, nigga? We don't respect you, nigga. Why are you fixing your mouth to even talk in this tone that you talking in, bitch? The fuck? I hate you niggas with a passion.
Literally a voice box for Drake, and the only negative comments that you think we're making when they come about this guy. Okay? And guess what? He deserves every single comment he gets because he's doing dumb shit. You're sitting there talking about
he's doing dumb shit. What the fuck is the dumb shit? Half of the dumb shit that y'all talking about has nothing to do with you, nigga. Has nothing to do with your lives. Y'all don't have to talk about Iceman. Y'all don't have to talk about any lawsuits. OVO getting sued. Y'all don't have to talk about none of the shit. But you do. But you do. Y'all act like Drake is somehow standing in the way of the rest of hip hop and somehow holding the rest of hip hop back by existing. You bitches sound stupid as fuck. Get the fuck up. Get up off the fucking ground, you bitches. Pull your panties up off the toilet, you hoes. Put your thongs back on, you bitches. You thoughts. Move on with your lives. None of us give a fuck about what you niggas got a problem with Drake with. We don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, in real life, in real true reality, none of this shit affects your fucking bottom line. You bitch. Fuck, nigga. None of this shit affects your bottom line. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It does. Because you can't stop talking about the nigga. It's your life, bitch. Fuck are we talking about? Charles balls in my mouth? Fuck, nigga. Niggas will slap the shit out you. You cancer having ass fuck, nigga. Bitch. This nigga's a bitch. I hate these niggas with a passion. The fuck?
About all these guys make videos all day for their bottom line, their pockets. Okay, YouTube pays. And what?
And use a hoe. And use a shameless ass hoe, a thought, a K-thought. And when I say K-thoughts, this nigga is exactly what the fuck I mean. You was a K-thought bitch. No pride, no spine, no dignity. No skills in life that can pay you, that can get you through whatever you have going on. You have to get here on all fours and suck Drake's dick to feed your children, pay your rent, and keep your lights on, you fuck bitch ass nigga. How does that feel? How do you guys have dignity? How do you niggas look at yourselves in the mirror at the end of the day? How do y'all do it? How do y'all look at yourselves and call yourselves men? How do y'all do it?
Okay, end of the day, we do this because we have voices and opinions about our culture.
And we don't give a fuck about you niggas' voices and opinion. Talk about Kendrick, you bitch ass nigga. Talk about JID. Y'all niggas should be why the fuck ain't niggas talking about my nigga that just got signed from the Carolinas to TDE? Why y'all niggas ain't talking about him? Y'all don't care. You fuck niggas don't care about hip hop. Y'all don't care about the music.
How it's being misused and misrepresented. You are over there.
He knows it's touched the nerve. He feels some type of way about it. Yeah, he feels some type of way. You can tell.
Literally, you switch sides because you started doing content, the same kind of content we do. Okay, you had content pieces that were kind of fair and balanced. Like I said, you are a documentarian, but you were fair and balanced when you first got into this space. That's why you amassed so many followers so quickly. And then we all know what happened. You counted all the N-words that Drake said in one of those videos. The culture got mad at you. We kind of screamed on you and your feelings were hurt. You tucked your tail and ran for a while.
Y'all gaslight the nigga. Y'all gaslit the nigga, and y'all still don't let that shit go. Y'all still don't let the shit go. Y'all still try to run plays and act like that was something to even talk about, even write home about.
You decided, okay, when I come back, I'm going to pick a side. Kendrick people would never accept me because I'm not like him, so I'm go all in heavy Drake side. But you forgot about the videos you did against Drake when you were just like us, right? Tried to hide that fact. Oh no, but you went and all of a sudden you're this super Drake advocate, only does Drake videos. You don't even make Drake videos about anything else. You got a nerve to call us a Drake hate channel. So what are you? You're a Drake love channel? What are we talking about?
It's you see us fans talking about our favorite artists who just dropped and who consistently drops. So there's consistently a reason for us to talk and speculate about what he's doing. There's no reason for you fuck niggas who hate him to be talking about him this much. No reason. So you're not making a point, you old ass fuck. What are you talking about? You sound stupid as fuck. You sound like you got a pussy between your legs.
End of the day, every time I see your content, new angle on the same shit. Drake, Iceman, Drake. You'll do one video about Jay-Z, then go right back to Drake for 10 videos straight. Are you adding to the culture? Is that what you're calling the culture?
Oh man, that's enough of that. All right, let's get into Dirt's response, because like the video we just watched, a lot of people got in their feelings about that. Let's get into it.
This just in, if you call out the Drake haters and you're white, that just means you're racist. Around 2 days ago, I put out a clip criticizing these sorts of channels like Glasses Malone, where what these dudes do is hide behind protecting hip-hop when really you're just blatantly hating. My argument was pretty simple. If you really care this much about hip-hop, why is 95% of what you do and say always negative and always filled with hate? All you got to do is search his channel, Drake. Look, every single one of these videos that you're seeing are all clips and podcasts of him hating on Drake. There's hundreds of videos on here. Hundreds of videos in the last 2 years hating on one man under the guise of protecting hip-hop. Drake's career decline, biggest fall from grace. Will Smith versus Drake. Who would win in a fight? Here's another one. Let's type in Drake. All
niggas is creating Drake fan fiction. We don't even do that over here, guys. We don't even do that over here. Niggas, we gotta step our fandom up. Niggas is creating Drake fan fiction. Drake versus Will Smith. Who would win? What the fuck? We not even doing that as fans. Holy shit, this is crazy.
All of these videos are about Drake, bro. A therapist and a counselor talk Drake. Drake's OVO is about to go bye-bye. Drake went to the feds. Drake has now flopped twice. Drake is cheating at gambling. Sorry, guys, Drake deleted Iceman from his IG. Mind you, this guy got to be in his 50s, and when I call this shit out and say, look, 95% of your content is hating on Drake, how in the fuck are you doing anything good for hip-hop? They just called me racist. They pointed out the fact that I was white and called me racist. Here's another one. Type in Drake. Drake OVO owes 4.6 million. A Drake minion DM me. Charlemagne called it. Drake affiliated PR firm now getting exposed. Drake draft day reference track. Drake sued by photographer for what did I miss video. Drake's secret visit in family court. Here's another channel.
I don't even have this many Drake I don't even have this many Drake title videos, bro. I don't even talk about Drake this much. This is what I want you niggas to realize. I'm a fan. Drake is my favorite rapper. I don't even have this many Drake videos. This is crazy. Y'all are not realizing how psychotic these niggas are. Y'all are not realizing it. We're not. Y'all are not seeing how crazy these niggas are. And it's crazy. I don't get it. I really don't.
Look at her response to me. Be quiet, colonizer. What's the dirt is still a racist idiot. Drake fans are stupid. Drake could lose OVO brand. Drake hates women. Drake fans are in shambles over OVO. Everyone hates Drake's Iceman explained. Drake is MAGA's Joker. Drake is broke. Drake is broke part 2. Drake used stake money to bot streams. Are men gay for Drake? How Drake's Iceman can suck and still go #1. Drake's Iceman looks maxing era. Look, these are facts. Like, these channels have hundreds of videos hating on Drake, cosplaying like they're doing it for hip hop. I'm calling it out. And yeah, I am white and I am a guest in the culture, but that doesn't mean I can't blatantly call out your bullshit. This was Glasses Malone's critique for what I said.
Like, that dude don't even like black people, bro. I don't know how y'all be watching some of these people. When he try to talk to me and shit, he tap me and shit and say stuff and people like it, I'll be like, I can't argue with no Klans member. That shit, I just had to see him. And
calls me a Klansman and claims that I don't like black people, which is just fucking disgusting to put on someone. Like, it's just disgusting, bro. It's disgusting. Then they came with the argument that I don't do anything different, which is even more insane. First and foremost, please just point out the hate videos that I've done on my channel. Which videos have I done that are just blatantly hate? So you're trying to say that videos that take me like a month to make, where I'm quite literally documenting a moment in time, breaking down bars, breaking down symbolism, connecting dots, making a documentary. You're trying to compare this with making 10 videos a week, hating on one person that is entirely negative. More times than not even about music. I only have around 70 long-form videos on my channel, and all of them took time to make. None of this content is spreading hate. There's also the fact that I'm not trying to hide behind some like noble cause of protecting hip-hop through my content. Most of my content is indeed breaking down bars or symbolism or something within hip-hop. But here's the facts. 95% of your content is hating on one man and spreading hate. 95% of my content is breaking down lyricism, breaking down symbolism. I don't make hate content. That's why I don't mind calling you clowns out, because
yeah, this shit effectively sent these niggas on a spiral. It's just the facts. You can tell people who are you can tell the people who are really knowledgeable about the game, about hip hop, about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't, I really don't see how any sane person can just effectively look at what's going on and be like, oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Like yeah, 100%. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So we got to start calling these things out. We got to start just being real about the shit that we're seeing, the shit that's in front of our faces. Niggas like this, they aren't here to make good content. They aren't here to break down the game to you, to make sure you even understand, to even chronicleize or uplift the style of hip hop that they want to see. You would think that if these guys want to subscribe to a certain demographic or a certain style of hip hop, that these guys would, you know, they would move in a certain way. That you would think that they would move in a way that is going to put at the forefront, or at least talk about the things that are going to display the characteristics, the ability that, or the values that they want to see carried on in hip hop. But they don't talk about these people. They don't talk about those people. They don't highlight those people. They don't put those people at the forefront. They don't talk about their music. They don't talk about when they drop. They don't talk about when they get an interview. They don't review their interviews. They don't talk about if they had a collab or some fire shit. The only time you're going to get them to talk about them if maybe they collab with Kendrick Lamar, King Kunta, King K-Dot. But we're not going to get any real substance from these niggas. We're not. We're not going to get a real conversation. So I want you guys to realize it's very easy to look at a nigga like this, his channel, and then you look at a nigga like What's the Dirt. You don't have to listen to what the both of them are saying. Just look at their channels. If I blindfolded you, didn't show you who was running which channel, never revealed, you couldn't see who was on who was talking, and you just looked at the content and took the content at face value, you would easily be able to tell. Most people would be honest and be able to tell who really cares about the culture, who really cares about hip hop. And it's sad that we have to sit here and say a white boy cares more about the culture than you, nigga. A white boy is doing more for the culture than you, nigga. A white boy is holding down the culture more. A white boy is teaching more youngins, more new artists, more new hip hop fans, more aspiring Drake's, Nicki's, and Kendrick Lamar's aspiring students to the game. He is doing more for them than you. He is teaching more to students of the game than you. Can you niggas imagine and put that into quantify that and put that into perspective for a second? The nigga you hate, the white boy you niggas hate, is doing more for the aspiring artist, for the student of the game than you niggas are. And that's just a dead ass fact. That's just a no bare bones, no fat, all lean fact, nigga. There's nothing we can argue about that. There's nothing we can even debate about that. The nigga that y'all hate, the white boy, is teaching more young black boys and young black girls who are aspiring artists and students of the game more about the hip hop culture than you niggas are. More than you, Charles in my balls in my mouth Brown. More than a Screwface Thought. More than a Company Man. More than a Glasses Malone. He's putting more young black boys and young black girls onto their own culture than you niggas. He's teaching them more about their own culture than you niggas are. How does that make that make sense? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Oh, when we say it out loud, it sounds crazy, right? When we say it out loud, it sounds fucking crazy, right? It sounds fucking nuts, right? It sounds fucking nuts that if we took 100 aspiring artists, ages 12 all the way up to fucking 19, 21, whatever. If we took 100 aspiring artists from 12, 13, all the way up to 20 fucking 1, and we put both of their channels, both of you guys' channels, in front of them. We put both of y'all channels in front of them. Which channel would they learn from more? What channel would they learn about their own culture more? From watching a nigga like Charles Brown or watching a channel like What's the Dirt? That's just facts. We can't even argue it. My boy DJ K Dub is in the building, man. What's up while I'm losing my voice out here? What's good, my boy?
Hey, man, that's how you know you're really doing shit. You feel me? That's how you know you're really talking that shit, boy. What's going on, my boy?
Man. Yes, indeed.
What's going on,
yes,
my
indeed.
boy?
Feeling marvelous.
How you been, my
feeling
guy?
marvelous. A little under the weather, obviously, but
shit.
feeling nothing really stops me from getting on here and talking that shit.
Of course, bro. I mean, shit, at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? That's what it is. That's what it is. Nah, man, just, yeah, these people be weird, man. They be talking that nonsense and thinking that we ain't gonna call them on it, bro, and that's what it is, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. What do you think about Dirt basically calling out all of these hate channels who effectively, like this guy, like 90% of their content is talking about and hating on Drake? And just like the point that I was making, if we lined up 100 kids, 100 aspiring artists, 100 people who are students to the game, and we put both of these guys' channels in front of them, who would they learn from more about their own culture?
They
The
probably
white
learned-
boy, the
they
white
probably
boy, or the old black nigga who's a Drake hater?
Well, it's
crazy.
I think it depends where you go. I think it depends where you go because it's gonna be like if you came to like over here, you know, where I'm at, then like on the West Coast, it's like they probably gonna listen to this Glasses Malone nigga. You feel me? So it's like, unfortunately, but
Unfortunately.
I see what you're saying though, and obviously, you know, the correct answer is what's the dirt. I mean, shout out to the boy, what's the dirt? You know, that's Crody. You feel me? My boy OVO affiliated. In case y'all didn't already know, like y'all, he know, you know what I'm talking about, but. He knows what the fuck he's talking about as far as hip hop goes. Not even just about OVO, bro. Like he knows his shit. He's a student
knows
of the
his shit.
game. And it's
Exactly.
like that's what I think. When did it become a crime? When did it become a crime to be less melanated to not know what you're talking about hip hop? Like I dare I say the same thing that every white boy's been saying since the 90s. Like, do I really got to bring Eminem into the fucking conversation right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. It doesn't that don't mean nothing no more. Like that shit that's a ancient archaic way of thinking, bro. And it's like these motherfuckers really want this shit to say boom bop beam bop bam type shit, bro. Like
Not only that, but they want it to stay that, and then they want to take like how I said earlier in the stream. But these guys want to take those standards and apply that to every subgenre of rap, and it just doesn't work that way. The values that conscious rappers hold: storytelling, lyricism, artistic depiction, value, things like that. Every subgenre doesn't hold those same values. So you guys can't just push all you guys' values and force the entirety of hip hop to conform to a conscious rapper's values. It just doesn't work like that.
No, exactly. And you know, it's crazy that people, you know, can't see that, you know.
Yeah.
It's crazy that people can't see that. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's crazy that it's so weird, bro. It's just weird to look at just hip hop media in general nowadays and just be like, hey, you know, this is okay. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. Burner One said these niggas is weirdos for real, bro. Pay them no mind. I mean,
Hey, I agree, brother.
I agree. I would tell most fans to pay these guys no mind. But in my position to where I feel like it's my job to be a direct opposer, a direct mouthpiece opposing these liars, these manipulators, these propaganda pushers, it's important for me to just put on display how egregious the things that these guys do. This is why we had to drop the K-Thought Circle of Life delusion edition. I'm sorry. They create a narrative. A day later, it gets debunked. And then on day 3, on step 3, they call all of us gay. They crash out online. It's the same narrative. It's the same stories. But, I mean, it's a cycle for these guys. It's a cycle for these guys, okay? And these guys, they don't have any shame about what they're doing. I mean, Charles effectively came out and admitted to you guys. He admitted to everyone that he does this for a check. He talks about Drake every day for a fucking check. It's egregious. These guys have no shame in what they do, how they handle business, the things that come out of their mouths. And when we come back and debunk the lies, we debunk the narratives, they just move on with life. They don't come back, they don't apologize, they don't set the record straight. They just move on with their lives. I mean, think about how many people were pushing the propaganda of Drake being MAGA. And think about how many
it only lasted 2 days, but that was a long 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Like that was a long 2 days.
It lasted all of 2 days. But think about how these guys effectively just ignored Jay-Z doubling down and actually sitting with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner.
Yeah, so yeah.
Having dinner, sharing laughs.
Sharing laughs is crazy.
It's craziness. So I have to point these things out. I have to effectively keep my foot on these niggas' necks. Because if I don't, if a few people like I don't expect a nigga like What's the Dirt to get down and go where I'm gonna go with shit. Just because number one, he's white. And they already, if he says anything, already with him just calling out,
I just gotta call the racist. That's it.
yeah, he's a racist. You're a white boy. The culture doesn't recognize you. You don't get to speak on the culture, but y'all let Anthony Fantano run amok. Niggas like this let Anthony Fantano run a fucking muck, do and say whatever the fuck he wants.
He annoys me so much. Oh my god, bro.
They don't even
I remember,
care.
check this out. I remember when one of my posts during the Iceman thing went viral. I think it was like a Toronto. I share. I don't know if you saw you. I think you had to have seen it. That shit got like a million impressions. That's like the biggest tweet I've ever done. And it's like, it was literally just when he put the ice sculpture up, how the fire department had to come in and start to melt it. And Anthony Fantano commented on my shit and he said like, oh, you know, what a waste of time and resources. It's like, bro, you never have anything nice to say about Drake ever. Like, plus, how is it a time of money and resources? He probably
I can't recall him enjoying anything.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, oh my god, but let Ho put out a thing of Air Force One sneakers, you know, completely jacking what Drake did. You know what I'm saying? Oh my god, this is innovative. You feel me? This is
groundbreaking,
innovative, right? And it's like Drake did that shit with CLB, bro. Like catch up. Like my boy said when they were talking shit about honestly, never mind, catch up. You know what I'm saying? Man. So it's just. They'll let him do whatever they want. By the way, also him getting away with being racist as fuck early in his career and him still having a platform is crazy. But let What's the Dirt just question stuff, not even like say fucked up shit, just question something. Oh no, he's a racist. Oh no, he can't talk about it. He can't sit at the table.
He can't talk about it. You said
you
counted 37 N-words.
Exactly. Well, let me ask you something, Diesel. Isn't it kind of racist to be that way to someone else just because they're not black?
Well, yeah. I'm not of the school of thought that black people can't be racist. So I think with the definition of racist and what it is, if you have prejudice against if you hate on somebody, if you hate somebody,
imagine What's the Dirt was black, bro. We wouldn't even talk about this right now. What's the Dirt was a black man, bro.
Well, they couldn't talk about it. They would just call him gay. They would just talk about him like how they talk about academics.
A house boy, you know.
Yeah, they talk about him how they talk about academics. But one thing that I can say is I'm starting to see more Drake creators, Drake fan creators, who are, I mean, they effectively do the same thing. All their content is Drake content, and not to say that we don't make a lot of Drake content over here as well, but we're fans. We are fans. We like to speculate and indulge and with a positive lens, what Drake can be doing. And not only that, Drake is one of the most active artists in the game, if not the most. So we constantly have something to talk about. We constantly have new music, constantly have new content to break down, speculate, and make content around. So, these guys' talking points when it comes down to the talking points that they use against us. Even a tweet that I put out a couple of days ago, which went kind of viral, but again, it just calls to the attention where my boy Jay Roebuck, shout out to him again. But
that man's going to war for OVO right now. Jesus,
exactly.
Man.
But he got the Drake follow, and I took that and I took that and I just basically said, and I used that to point out how Drake fandom is not the same as Kendrick fandom. It's
Nah,
not the
bro.
same as the rest of you guys. Drake acknowledges his fans. He listens to us, whether we know it or not. From the smallest creators to the biggest, he is tapped in. And I use that effectively to say, like, look, this guy has been blowing up. Now, I know he's been in the space way longer than the past month, but I've probably been seeing him for the last maybe month or two. I recognize him, but didn't really know who he was until the 1v5 like that. But it just goes to show when you put in the work and you're making good content and you're speaking, it's not like he's just saying a bunch of bullshit and Drake dick riding. He's coming with the facts. He's articulate. He knows hip hop. He knows music. You can tell the man knows his shit. So those people effectively, you know, I don't have a problem with. And it just goes to show that Drake also recognizes the same. Real recognizes real. And Kendrick fans will never get that kind of acknowledgement. They'll never get that kind of look to say, oh, Kendrick is really listening to us. He's really watching us crash out for him day in, day out. He's really appreciating the shit that we do for him. They don't get that. They don't. It's just a fact.
And it just goes to show you, but it just goes to show you, right? It's like, at the end of the day, you know, it's impossible for the world to. It's impossible for the world to really hate on this moment, you know, because they can try. But we can see all these people trying, and it's just, you know, you get people like J Roebuck that just prove it, right? And like you said with the 5v1, he's sitting there telling the HFR dude the bars, right? The Mexican dude, and he's telling him the bars, and the dude's just like, "Where's she at? That's not, you know, if I'm ASAP Rocky, do I take that? Do I take that? Fucking, does it hurt? Yes, motherfucker, it hurts." Yeah. You think it doesn't hurt him, bro? He's talking shit about Drake on his tour right now. What do you mean it don't hurt? Yes,
he got
bro.
an owl in his crosshairs. He's thinking about Drake. It's affecting him. He got the meme banned off IG.
He had to put on his album. He said, "Yeah, some. Oh, I took your bitch." He refers his own wife, the woman he married, bro, and has 2 kids with, as your bitch, bro. Like, what kind of beta shit is that, my guy? Like, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing right now?
That's crazy to refer to your wife as his bitch. That's wild. But but it is what it is. Like, that it just goes to show that you know, the conversation, we have to have more conversations about what's going on around Drake and the people who are speaking on him. Just because you know, we can't have real hip hop debate. We never will have regular hip hop discourse back to the way it was when people like this guy exist. Because we're not having real conversations anymore. We're not talking in reality. I mean, this guy effectively said, "Oh, I don't know who all of these people are listening to Drake and I don't know where all of these streams are coming from, but this is just some propaganda." Like, what? I had one person come on my page and demanded that I show proof that Drake spent 4 weeks at #1. How do we have conversations with people who don't even live in reality? It's crazy. It's craziness. It's real crazy, you guys. And I just want to again, for the people who are watching and the people who y'all are probably tired of people like this too. Y'all are probably really tired of people like this too and want them to go away. But we gotta stop paying. We gotta start paying these niggas in dust. We gotta start getting them the fuck out of here. We need to stop responding to them. After a while, I gotta stop responding to them too. But the shit that they do and say is just so important at times that we put it on display and separate the facts from the fiction, that we can't avoid it. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, like I said, we have to stop having these conversations with these people. We have to stop acknowledging them because they're not. They're in La La Land. They're somewhere else, effectively in life. I said today on Busby post, The nigga just a nigga like that just speaks into the void. It speaks in a different reality. We have no idea where he's living. It's crazy talk. You feel me? But real quick, because we are about to hop into Shiesty space. Shout out my boy Shiesty.
Yeah,
Gonna hop
shout
in there
out.
in the next 3 minutes. But get your shit off before we get up out of here, my boy.
Nah, man. What's up, Doja Room? It's been a minute. You know your boy Dub been cooking. I got
One
my
of the favorites.
yeah, brother. Yeah, man. And just listen, bro. I got some shit cooking. I'll let them know first. I don't know if y'all however y'all been listening to the 3 albums. I mean, if you put them in order, it spells a certain 3-letter word. Him. You feel me? So your boy Dub is working on his him K mix, which in reality is gonna be. I'm gonna do 23 songs. I'm gonna pick all 3 from 3 albums and put them all into a mix, and just see how I would have did it. And show people how I would have did it. So
we will definitely love that. We would definitely love that.
Sir.
We'd be some of the first to listen to that in the Doja Room. Of course, we can't listen to that on YouTube, so it's gonna be a day where we're not on YouTube. But yeah, we're definitely gonna indulge into that. Real quick before we get out of here, because like I said, my boy Shiesty Space is gonna start here in a minute. I want you guys to follow us on into there. We're gonna be in there talking. But what do you think about Iceman? I know the Dojites ain't hear from you in a minute. A couple of them have been asking about you. All right, they fuck with my boy K Dub.
Man, hey, shout out to you know hey, I just gotta say this, man. Shout out to my boy Diesel, man. Shout out to my boy Dope Boy Diesel, boy drinking 5. You feel me? Like, been holding it down since day one. This one of the Crodies for real. Like, shout out to my boy Diesel. Gotta give you your flowers, bro.
Appreciate you,
but
brother.
As far as Iceman, brother, I mean, shit, you know, I'm just glad that y'all motherfuckers can listen to it now. Your boy had heard 9 tracks. 8 of the 9 tracks I heard were on it, you know, and one of them was on Habibti. So I'm just glad all of y'all got to finally hear what I heard, and just, you know, twisting the M and the O and the B. You feel me? Like, come on now, like,
that's my shit right now.
I can't find a skip, brother. It's been a month now. I can't find a skip on Iceman, bro.
You know, I had skips the first week.
Oh,
we're going into the 5th, 6th week. I got no skips anymore, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I got no more skips.
What's getting me right now, and I want to leave this with everybody. Firm Friends is crazy.
Oh yeah.
Firm Friends. He's talking to J. Cole. Got you in the crosshairs, my guy. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if they're repairing that friendship, brother.
Yeah, that is 100% one of the sleepers. And you know, it's one of those introspective tracks that really for me put to rest any talks that Drake doesn't get that deep and he doesn't get introspective, for one. And for two, it really made you think about that concept, right? I mean, I want to get you and my boy Mills in on the episode so we can really break down Iceman song for song.
I want to go track for track, bro.
We got to do that. If not this week. Yeah.
Are you listening to Habibti,
bro? I'm not gonna lie. I'm listening to a little bit of Habibti, but Iceman has had me in a chokehold for.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's everything I wanted Drake to deliver. It's everything.
Habibti, brother. You gonna feel that way? You gonna feel that way about Habibti, bro?
High fives. Oh my god.
High fives is my shit, dog.
I don't understand how niggas is not talking about high fives more than what they are. I don't know why, but again, we are going to have an episode where me, you, and Mills really go and have a nice long talk breaking down the entirety of the albums, the songs, the concept. But yes, Firm Friends, I'm gonna save that for that. I'm gonna save that for that stream. But
do that. And then shout out to Maid of Honor, because we in summer right now.
Oh yeah,
Maid of Honor is crazy, brother.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the boy Gordo too. That's the boy. So shout out to
Gordo
the boy
got
Gordo.
Me on a wave.
Yes, sir.
All summer long. And yeah, bro, shout out to you. Like I said, the fans been asking about you. A few people have said that you were one of the me and you talking to some of their favorite talks, and they they love both of our pages on X. They want to see you in here a little bit more, and of course you be having the insiders, you be having you be having the good takes as well, and we just have a good time on stream every time you on stream. So y'all make sure y'all following my boy K Dub on X, okay? Make sure y'all following us there so that y'all can keep up with the spaces. That's the home hub for me. So articles, clips, videos, lives. You're not gonna miss anything if you're following me on X. Same goes for my boy K Dub. Yeah, you got anything you want to leave the people with, man, before we get out of here?
That him K mix. Get ready. That shit going. You might. I don't want to take strings away from Drizzy, but listen.
Oh, not at all, not at all. But we gonna be.
But you know what I'm saying, brother? That shit gonna go up, man. But definitely got to come back. We got to do that Iceman breakdown for sure, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that we try to line that up for this week, because I've been wanting to do that for a couple of days now.
Oh, brother.
I've been wanting to do that for a couple of, really just break down song by song, the concepts, the production, I want to really break everything down.
Conductor.
Yeah. So we'll get into that. And if you guys want to continue listening to me talk, I don't know if you're gonna hop in there, Dub, but I'm gonna hop in here in this space with my boy Shiesty, another friend of the show. So you guys go ahead and hop in with us there. I appreciate everybody who came out and watched the show today, from Kick to Rumble. I see my people on Twitch, on X, YouTube as well. Everybody who's came in and watched me lose my voice today. A little under the weather, of course, but I still gotta deliver. Okay, we appreciate you guys for fucking with us. Make sure you fucking with me and Dub. We got a lot of things coming personally for you guys, and we love serving the owls, bro. We love serving the owls. So just stay tapped in. Keep your ears to the streets. We're gonna keep on delivering some good content. So all my stoners, hippies, hip hop enthusiasts, we appreciate you guys for stepping into the Doja Room this fine Sunday. But it is Sunday. We got a lot of shit going on tonight, and I gotta get ready for House of the Dragons. I my girl want to watch Baddies. It's a couple of things we got to get prepared for. So we out of here. But
we got a shiesty space.
we'll be in the shiesty space if you guys want to continue to talk and get involved in the conversation. You got yourselves. All right. Until next time, this has been the Doja Room. I'm your boy Dope Boy Diesel. I'm out, guys.
Yeah. Hey, this that special sauce. Spill that drip, I wipe it off. $1 million worth of game.